Salute and thank you, NERDSoul. Oh yeah, lay ill kid at OneYoungsta, holding it down, bringing that street geeky nerd soul. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell. Let's go, man. Yo, look. All right, Marvel. It's Marvel time. We're talking about that Thunderbolts, the T-bolts. All right, the Thunderosity. But we're not by ourselves. We're gonna get started with the boss Nash. All right, little reference there for you if you know what you're talking about. But this man has been bringing comic books to people far and wide, all across the South, making sure that their literary skills stay top notch. I give to you Coop of Blurtish. What's up?
Hey, what's up, y'all? This will also be on the Blurtish podcast.
True that.
Check us out. Me and Mark did a review of Sinners. Of course, this man here has been doing all type of thoughts, but you're gonna get this kind of one time for us, and we hope that we made it worth your time from people down in the Delta and around the way. Give our thoughts on it and all the blues and magistry or whatever you want to say, or masterful filmmaking
Yes.
from one Ryan Coogler. So check that out. That's just been recently up. And we're gonna talk some Thunderbolts. And today is free comic book day. And the ladies and I want to give a special quick shout out. Just met these ladies in double play. I said, hey, what's up? We were just chatting them up. They said, oh, you did a review on Sinners. I showed them. They said they followed it on Spotify. So if you listen, ladies, shout out to you. Thank you for being a listener.
This what's up. This what's up, man. Yeah. You know what? Sinners. Okay, I know we're talking about Thunderbolts, but I'll say this: Sinners is so awesome, and I'm so glad to see its success. Like I told you, the second time I went to see it was earlier this week. It was on a Wednesday, last showing, and the theater was still half full. Like this movie is doing well. This movie is doing extremely well.
Did you watch the new Ace Vane?
No.
Ace Vane slipped in the. I love it. I've grown and appreciate Ace Vane more and more each year. He did a joke where like Batman was driving to the theater before he got shot by the Riddler or something.
Wow.
That's kind of joke. And he pulls up to the theater and he said Sinners. Hey man, this thing's still sold out. And he just threw that in there. Like, so that just
Bruh. I was surprised how many people were in the theater. And then I was also proud of how many people were in the theater. And then when people got up to like leave, I was like, no, y'all stay. And then after I told them to stay, and they stayed, and they saw the post credit, they were like, thank you, brother. And I was like, what's up, brother? And like this, because you know it was just us. It was us in the theater.
And that kind of leads me into that. It just feels good that for me, to actually, this has been a long time. Now, I know there was the Barbenheimer thing for some folks. I still ain't seen neither one of those. I'm gonna watch Barbie.
Me neither.
I don't care nothing about Oppenheimer. I'll just tell you that. I know that was a great movie, blah blah. At its depressing city, I'm going to watch Barbie. Me and my wife will watch it at least because I'm a fan of those two actors anyway. The lead played Barbie and Ken. I don't know why my mind's slipping on the lady's name. I should know she played Harley Quinn.
Margot Robbie.
I mean, I like Wolf of Wall Street. She ain't really did.
Wolf of Wall Street is a lot funnier than I expected it to be.
It's gonna always. I'm just saying, like her and Sinners and her with Holly. There's some lines that I can't repeat that will always stick with me. So shout out to them. But it's just good to have movies that I actually care about going to the theater again.
Yes.
And y'all, I want to say this before we start the review. I am not pro save the theaters. Oh, you must watch everything. No, I am not that dude.
I'm pro make your theater worth coming to. Right. Keep it clean. Give us some new seats. Vacuum and shampoo that carpet. Fact, you know what I'm saying?
Shout out to you. You said I listened to it when you was giving your old man yells at movie chairs spiel, but I'm gonna join you. AMC, y'all. Me and Mark, we went to AMC. Is right down my street. There's two in my city. I kind of miss Rave, y'all. I miss before they bought Rave. I miss Rave theaters. Rave was clean. Rave, I think screens were a little bit brighter, or maybe it was just back in the day it was new. AMC, y'all ain't. First of all, y'all need workers Why can't somebody be outside in the booth no more? Y'all got the booth still up there.
Yeah, it's either
Take
that or just close that booth. Like
Get rid
just
of the
close the booth,
booth. Rip the,
like shut it
rip
down
the
and do something else.
rip the booths off and put more machines to buy tickets. If I need to have a credit card to do that, can y'all get more ticket machines?
Yeah.
And look,
And see, my AMC is the people are nice, it's clean, but it's still old. So the bathrooms are clean, the people are nice. I've never had a mean interaction with anyone, but the theaters, the seats are just old, man. I mean, they're still comfy, but
mine.
they're old. And then on,
I'll
like I
say
said, on the
this.
other day, one of my seats were broken, and they had to move me to another seat. I was like, bruh. Especially when I went to Bowtie like 2 weeks ago to see Sinners the first time. Bowtie got them brand new seats like just like a month ago.
The
So they got,
seats.
maybe it's not fair because they just put in fresh new seats, but them new seats at Bowtie, bruh.
Well,
Ooh,
for
I
the
was like,
price,
just like
look,
put my feet up. I was like, wig it. You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
just
Like,
gonna say this for the money they want. Now, look, I ain't gonna lie. I bought a child's ticket, and yes, in Baton Rouge, the tickets are a little bit cheaper than some of you big city folks.
oh my
So,
man went in there as a toddler.
but here's the thing: they don't get maybe back in the day they don't get paid enough to give a damn. They took my because they make you they make the people take the tickets at the guest desk.
Oh.
So, or when I went to Cinemark to try, I was at when I saw Sinners, I had to buy my ticket at the concession stand, and the line's kind of a little like it wasn't that bad, but it was kind of a mess to do it like that because the people are confused who trying to be in the
Yeah,
A+ line for their stuff to get in there, and I got to be in line on the ticket. I did not like
got
that.
you.
Um, AMC do better with your logistics. I know you have less people, but god damn it, invest in fixing the ticket machines because that one the ticket machines were broke.
Mm.
And give us at least one more ticket machine. Two ain't gonna cut it. Rip down the box
Yeah, you don't need
if
that box area.
if the box is obsolete, rip down one of the boxes and put another ticket machine. I know
Yeah,
that's capital improvements and they don't want to spend nothing,
nah, they don't want
but
to
if
do that.
but if you at least do that, that would be a major step to show that you want people back in the theater like you claim. Because
Yeah, the
right
biggest
now,
deal, man.
this this right now shows that y'all can't even handle if some another cultural phenomenon or Fantastic Four become this massive thing like how it
Yeah,
used to be with Marvel, or just y'all can't handle the damn tickets. And you damn sure
come
can't
on.
stop me from buying a child ticket and act like you gonna kick me out. I said it.
He
Yep.
said, "You ain't gonna stop." All right, look,
Anyway,
no more cursing, no more cursing.
sorry. I'm
We
sorry.
good. We
Sorry. I'm
ain't
sorry.
going. But I will say this, guys. In every city, there's a company that will shampoo carpets and clean carpets and revitalize it. Like, come on, bro, come on. Like, the carpets is
Yeah,
old, but
and be
I.
looking dusty and dim.
So I know they look mad dim. You like, I know this is not what the
You
carpet used to
remember
look
you and
like.
y'all who go to the movie, y'all know that type. It's only a type of dim that you get in the movie theaters. I don't know
Yeah,
if
it's
it's
either theater, well, three theaters, bowling alleys, and
arcades.
skating rinks.
Yeah. It's that certain
It's that
entertainment.
same carpet, that
It's
same
dark
dinge, that
because
dark brown dinginess.
you can't have like wooden. You're not gonna have wooden floors, obviously, in a
Nah,
movie theater. But you
that would
might
that
need to.
that might work. I mean, that's how Bowtie does it, but Bowtie you
Well,
paying more. So
and also maybe slippery and others like maybe
yeah,
that for some people.
you don't want grandma to slip a disc or bust a hip. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Maybe at the bottom floor, but going up the stairs, no. And then also
yeah.
that looks too good. But you gotta maybe get
Um,
a lighter carpet color.
you could
Lighter carpet
go.
color.
You could go the industrial route, like another bow tie does, where it's just cement floors. Like the floor is just cement, and it's a very kind of industrial chic kind of look in there. You could do that, and then, but it kind of depends. That's not really AMC's flow. Um,
AMC,
but
if you go keep it old style, then you need to make the olds like if you want to keep that 90s to early 2000 vibe, cool.
yeah,
That is your flavor. If
just
you're gonna be
put Serve Pro on retainer. All right,
if
get
you
them
just
out
want to
there and get
be
them carpet straight.
that old dude, the old guy who was a Gen Xer or old millennial stuck wearing Jinko jeans,
Mm,
got
mm,
frosted hair
mm, mm, mm.
tips, or he got
Mm.
like a flat top. But you got to keep it immaculate if you're gonna do it, or
Yeah,
you
come on,
become the
man.
weird guy, the weird old guy in the
Like if I
building.
saw somebody rocking Jinkos today, but they was like they would like look new and fresh and clean, I'd be like, oh,
He's
well,
like, look, man,
all
that's
right.
my like. It was one commercial. It's like, I found my look, and I'm gonna maintain this look. So
Yep,
maintain
gotta
it.
maintain it, man. So all right, here we go, guys. Look, it's all spoilers from here on out. I don't want to hear nothing. I hope you done seen it. It's Sunday now, so stop it. Okay, you done seen it, or if you ain't done seen it, don't watch it no further unless you want to be spoiled because we just gonna talk about this movie as if you've seen it too. So we gonna get started right now. I'm gonna throw it to you, Coop. When the movie ended, when you saw the final credit scene, how are you feeling about Thunderbolts?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling
Okay.
very, very good. I actually anticipated from as they kept showing the trailers and the different tones, and I actually appreciate like maybe I'm giving Marvel a little bit of grace. I'm not into the whole thing like, oh, it's a Marvel movie, so you know it's not good. Like the critics who do that, like I do try to give them a chance to
Uh
wow
huh.
me, and I like that they threw out the regular trailer, they threw out the funny trailer. And I
Mm-hmm.
was like, all right, I hope like the funny wacky one. I was like, I don't know, I don't know. But then they got to the serious one. I was like, okay. When they did the final trailer, I was like, all right, that's the real
Gotcha.
tone. So,
Okay.
but the Super Bowl trailer where they just showed 5 minutes of it, that actually was the one that sold me. And
Okay.
it was the one where Yelena's going up to her dad, and he was like, "How are you feeling?" He's like, "I am so fulfilled." And I was like, "Okay, there's
So
something
full, so
there."
filled.
I was like, "They got me." That was the
Yeah.
hook that got me.
I for me, well, for Marvel, I'll say how I feel about Marvel and Thunderbolts now. I'm gonna give a movie some credit that a lot of people don't give credit, but I'm gonna give it credit for a specific reason. Ever since Quantum Mania, I've been feeling better. Here's why.
Mm, mm,
Quantumania was probably the first film in a while, because remember back to Quantumania, the first film in a while that didn't seem like these people are by themselves in their own little closet. Quantumania was the first time when I started to feel like, oh, we're back in a universe again where like stuff matters to everybody again. Like, oh, okay, so this isn't just Ant-Man's just doing it. I know that Ant-Man is affected by other things and he's affecting other things and he's thinking about what other things this could affect. And like, oh, okay, now I'm starting to feel like this is a universe again. Then even in the Marvels, when they had the scrolls and they called Valkyrie to take them and we got Solar coming in a second. When they called Valkyrie to come get the refugees from or the people that were displaced from the scroll capital or whatever, it felt like, okay, cool, we're back in a universe again. Oh,
can
okay, there's more people around and now even
can
here, oh, go ahead.
to add to kind of add slash discredit your point, not discredit it, but you know how I feel about Marvels and Ant Man. Yeah,
Once
you're
again,
on.
I said a specific
Well,
point. I don't
I
care
know.
about the movie. I'm talking
I'm
about
saying
making us
no,
realize
no.
that they're not by
I'm
themselves.
saying even with the movie, and
Hmm.
it's a dis and an agreement to your point. And the reason why I say that, just take the timeline and move it up to Captain America for me, where all of these are intricate. I see the timeline, the weaving where they at
Hmm.
least mention the president. So it's like, oh,
Yeah.
it feels like we're back to that tightness of like, hey, these are written at the same time, even though they had the cuts and the stuff that I didn't like about Captain America, but I liked it overall. But it's like at least it didn't discard it completely. They're like, oh, it actually does exist. Thank you, Val. Quick line. Oh, your president turned to a crazy red maniac. Then y'all will, spoilers. Y'all know what happens at the end of this movie for what's happening in July. It's like, thank you. So you
Cool. So I
reduce
will.
all that multi, like I know I
Now,
discounted
at the
for
same
you,
time,
but
this is
for
tighter because those movies,
yeah,
these movies are also closer. But
yes.
remember the dark days. Remember when
Oh, I
Quantumania
remember the
dropped.
dark
It
days.
was the dark days. Quantumania was the first film that told us, hey, there's a wider universe. This isn't just a random project with someone by themselves and nobody's referencing
I,
anything. Like now we're back in a place where everybody is. Now, then we went to Marvels. It's like, okay, we're in a place where everybody is. It's not just these
to be
Marvels
fair,
by
I'll
themselves.
give
It
you this.
matters to the
I'll give you
world
this.
in general.
I'll
And then
give you this.
we got Deadpool and Wolverine. Now we're starting back to like, okay, hey guys,
The
this is a universe.
the
They're not
post
just in a
scene.
room by themselves in a Marvel closet,
You
and
know
then
what?
you in your Marvel closet,
I'll give you
and
some
you're in your
credit.
Marvel closet.
The Marvels, the end credit scene did launch. It did lead right into what is happening with Doom. It is a addendum to Doomsday
I mean,
because the
even having Valkyrie in, I think was a huge part. That's nice to know. Like, oh, she knows that makes sense. They have place for them to go. Okay, they would call. Just like I
just
ain't going front. When Jane Foster had cancer, I was like, so Strange can't handle this. Like, I feel like this is a wave of the
don't
hand from
don't
Strange.
ask no questions
He's
So
about
I'm
that.
he's
like,
gone.
but
You know what? Wave that hand and forget that movie. That movie's about to be non-canon. I promise you. That movie's
Wait,
canon.
but
The
real
canon
which
quick
that
though,
don't
movie are
matter.
we talking? Multiverse of we didn't watch the
Oh no
show,
no.
or are we
Multiverse of
talking
Madness is
about
cool.
No Way Back to a Good Spider-Man
No
movie?
no.
I'm just
That's
wondering.
good. We talking about Thor, Love and Thunder. Wave that out. Hand wave.
Oh,
yeah.
That movie
But
does not
we
matter.
got Solar great. Solar, after you finish the movie, you finish the first and second post credit. How are you feeling about Thunderbolts and Marvel in general? Where's your mind at?
in all honesty, I've been saying this for a whole lot of months now.
Mhm.
Marvel was working very much under the mandate of quality or quantity over quality. The whole of phase 4 was just get more movies out. Hurry up, get them out. Hurry up. We don't know how long this momentum is going. All right, cool. We got a Quantum Mania. Cool. Get that out there. Oh, yeah, yeah. Look, more stuff with Kang. All right, now get that out there. Oh, who else we got out there? Yeah. All right, yeah. Shang-Chi. Yeah. He should be a Netflix show. Shut up. We need movies. Go, go, go. You know, that's pretty much what they were doing. And
Also, let's kill the dad who was like the best. Just oh man,
yeah,
keep
let's
going.
kill the best Marvel villain since Loki.
I loved Wu in that. Like,
Yeah, it's almost like
he's like the best part of the flick.
It's almost like they had a quick guest director of Tim Burton saying, "Cool, you got a good bad guy. Let's kill him off at the end of the movie." Batman don't need a Joker. Fun fact, we are now as far away from Iron Man 1 as Iron Man 1 was away from Warner Brothers' first Batman with Michael Keaton. I'm old now.
Wow.
Now that I've said all that, it's good to see Marvel back to form. This movie, in all honesty, this made me very happy. Because the way that they've been going, the best thing that they've had to offer up for a while has been the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. But the Guardians movies very much have a tonal whiplash where it's like, ha ha ha, fun, ha ha ha, and now you're crying. It's very little in between.
Depression time.
No, yeah, seriously. I mean, you're just going, oh, look, it's Kurt Russell. And by the end of the movie, you're like, and same with part 3, but Thunderbolts, I gotta say, this movie makes me, it feels to me, and let me finish, it feels to me like Iron Man did, in the sense that I didn't care about any of these characters before. I thought Yelena was all right. She was a good thing, but I don't really care about SHIELD or Hydra or the Red Room. I don't the espionage thing, I've got James Bond for that. I don't need it for Marvel. We talked at great length about Dollar Tree Captain America. who I don't know what Wyatt is doing. I'm starting to think that Wyatt is a clone of his father, and his father is just pulling a get out with him because all I heard and saw was Kurt Russell. And again, Ghost, didn't care, especially in Ant-Man. And I liked the Ant-Man movies, but I'm like, wow, don't care. Hey, it's Lawrence Fishburne. And again, don't care.
I love her power. I didn't really care about the character, but the power, phasing through stuff has always been, phasing and teleportation has always been cool for me.
Want to disagree a little bit. This performance made me care about the character. And I'll just be honest.
Well, see, that's where I was going.
Go ahead.
That's where I was going, Mr. Cooper. All of these things, didn't care about her, didn't care about Yelena. She was fun in Hawkeye, and that was about it. Didn't care about Ghost. Don't know the Sentry except for the comics, but the Marvel Sentry, it's like, okay, but we don't really know much about him. As big a fan as I am of Julie Louis-Dreyfus, don't care about Costanza, Anita, LaQuisha, Banana Fana, Fofishka, Fontaine, Beltane.
You mean CIA
Bananas
Elaine?
Fosters. Yeah. Didn't really care. Only one I came close to caring about was Bucky and the Red Guardian, because I like the actor. Okay. And Bucky, he's done his time in Marvel. Okay. But Bucky is solid. And by halfway through this movie, I would say about the time that they got to the oven, I was invested in the same way that before Iron Man 2008 came out, I didn't care about Iron Man. He was not in my Marvel pantheon. I'm like, ooh, look, dude in armor. Guess what? Wait, let me do some reading. Okay, he was a drunk. He's based on Howard Hughes, and he's been in the Avengers from day one. But Thor, Cap, and Vision were always my Avengers, so I didn't care about Iron Man. But then the first movie came out, and I'm like, he's actually kind of cool, And so by the end of this movie, I'm like, you know what? This is a good team. And it's giving us a different set of emotional circumstances than the Guardians did. Because, from the Bad News Bears all the way to the Guardians of the Galaxies, including the Avengers, it's like, let's take this ragtag team of solo lone wolves and put them together. And I'm like, no, because their bickering came from a real place.
Yeah.
It's like they are all busted. They are all broken, hurt people. And I really, really like the catalyst for why they got together.
I absolutely do love that catalyst.
Yeah.
And the more to your point, like, I guess I gotta say I didn't care. I like Yelena as the main thing, and Red Guardian from that terrible Black Widow movie. They were so cut above that in such a movie, and Hawkeye. Like, I told you, y'all know how I felt about Hawkeye. Like, I don't really like Jeremy Renner like that. And he's a good actor. So look, y'all. Side note, Mark say this. Look, I admit, when I don't like somebody, I just kind of don't like him. He's a good actor. If he pops up in something that's good, I will give him his props. I don't go checking for him. I'll just say that.
I feel you.
And his demeanor off camera. And shout out to him for surviving that horrible accident.
Yeah.
No shade. But before that, I ain't feeling him. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
I will say I want to give him his flowers for standing up to Marvel. I really do.
Yes.
I didn't even know there was something that
he's
happened.
done. He's done. Like,
he's done. They asked him back for Hawkeye season 2, and he said no. And his reason was they were going to pay him half of what he made in season 1.
Wow.
And he's like, at least match first season.
Is it like half the episodes or something? Like,
they just trying to cut. Look, I ain't asking for more. It's like,
what did I tell y'all? That is she is Hawkeye now. We do not care about Jerry Ritter. And more so now, she is definitely Hawkeye. Her starter went up. And y'all, We didn't,
Yeah.
like you said, you know about sinners, but I'm just saying her star, Jeremy
Yeah,
Renner,
her star
who,
is rising.
Yeah,
yo,
after Sinners, we got a
honestly,
new
her star
Hawkeye.
is so big. We don't need no,
Yeah.
young Avengers. Put her right in the Avengers. She ain't no
Um,
child no
Well,
more. She a
they
grown
can
woman.
now.
But I'll
She's a
say,
grown woman.
I'll jump off your point with
But
why the team formed. I like that storyline. I do.
Mhm.
It's kind of simple and streamlined, and it makes a lot of sense.
Makes
Well,
sense.
Because-
hold up. Let's get
Oh.
on the same page. Which forming of the team?
Sorry, the forming of the team. The reason they all got in the oven. The reason they formed
Yeah.
because they were like,
Okay.
"Hey, she tried to kill us. We got to
Okay.
get her back," kind of thing.
See, I was
Um,
actually talking about the actual formation.
Oh, you're talking about the lovey-dovey feelings.
No, not the lovey-dovey feeling. I'm talking about when the world fell apart.
Oh, you're talking. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, yeah, I get.
I'm talking about the.
I'm talking about
the
when she tried to
incinerator.
kill them.
She tried to get him
Because-
to kill.
Because this is
That,
honestly
that was a great comic meet cute. It
this
really
is-
was.
this is a good following of, okay, we've seen her doing dirty stuff here, dirty stuff
Yes.
there. So now her, her burdens have come to bear. Like they're like, hey, now you're sitting in front of this congressional tribunal or whatever, and she's running around trying to shred documents. Now, I'll say this, I'll be honest. I've worked at a place where there was some late night shredding going on, and I was like, I don't know what's going on, but I
Real
ain't got
talk,
nothing to
can
do
I-
with nothing.
Can I
But-
interject with something?
But
I
late night
actually-
shredding is real.
Can I interject on that point?
Mhm.
Remember Enron? I almost had an interview with them out of in college. I almost won. I was like, oh man, y'all in Texas? Y'all close by. It's oil, gas, like, and they had a big accounting thing. And yes, I know I didn't get the job or I didn't get the interview, for reasons. But that was like, I was like, huh. Kind of
Yeah.
glad it
Ooh,
didn't
that's
happen
the
to
bullet.
me.
That's the
Look,
I
bullet.
was like, people were jumping out of the window.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Look, when it comes down to stuff like that, Morgan Freeman said it absolutely best in Batman Begins.
Mhm.
If you don't want to tell me what you're really up to, then when I'm asked, I won't have to lie.
I ain't got a lot. So I do like that we see even side characters' issues come to a head in this film, because she's kind of been in the background. We know she's been doing dirty government stuff, but sooner or later, now we have all this stuff coming to bear, and she's like, fire sale, get rid of it all. And she's like, put them all together, kill them all. So that made sense for me, and I was like, cool, it's an easy way to get them together. So I like that. I definitely liked her kind of on the run to a certain degree to try to like stamp out all these fires,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
it made sense to have them all come together, and the way they related to one another when they came together, I thought was it's because I was about to say Slade, not Slade, Taskmaster.
Oh man, justice for Taskmaster, man.
Taskmaster was like, I'm not here for you, close. And then like it's like, hold up, well, if you because I was like, even from
I
the
love
trailer,
that. You're
I was
not,
like,
you're not my assignment, but you're mine.
even in the trailer, because I've seen so much espionage stuff and so many like rogue agent stuff,
Yeah.
I was like, did she set them up? And I was like,
Yes.
you can't set people like this up because it might not roll well for it. Okay, if it doesn't work well when you have one character like Jason Bourne or Ethan Hunt or something like that, if it doesn't, what do you think it's going to do when you got like 3, 4, 5 characters that you try to set up?
cocky,
Bruh.
arrogant, and you think everybody's dumber than you, but at
True.
the same time,
Right there.
she was
Right there.
smarter. She was smarter than them, and a lot of luck. A lot of luck was involved.
Yeah, a lot of luck played
Lot of
into
luck.
that.
But she's just like of that character type of the Cecils, the Weskers. If
Yeah.
you want to go into Resident
Yeah.
Evil and
Mhm.
to the
Very
to the-
slimy, slithery,
slimy,
somehow
in control.
ease out.
but
Well,
somehow
we saw that in Wakanda Forever.
Yeah. So that's why I said like all of this
Yeah.
dirty stuff is kind of finally coming into a head for her. So I liked it.
a shout
will
out
say-
to Wendell
oh.
Pierce. Shout out to New
Yeah,
Orleans on
shout out to
Wendell
both.
Pierce. The fact that he pops up in that two characters.
I think he the only
act
brother in the film too.
He's the only brother. But him and I don't know his real name, but Andy Dufresne. When those
Right?
who from True Blood, he
Oh.
was He was the dude. He was the dude. The bald headed dude talking to her like.
Sorry,
I
when you said
prepared.
Andy Dufresne, I'm like, Tim Robbins
Sorry.
ain't black, bro.
But Andy Dufresne from True Blood,
Mhm.
you know, and he was the guy. He's like, I prepared for lethal. I was like, I'm ready to come in and kill. Those are two. They have Wendell Pierce and that guy. Two guys who starred in good HBO series, and he starred in Heels. Unfortunately, got canceled. He played the wrestler, ex-wrestling Heels. Those are people that can lead a good drama series, and they are in as big players.
Yeah,
You up that to get them to?
I like how
serious?
Wendell how I can't remember his character's name, but Wendell was like, "Bruh, you ain't gotta do all this cooking. Read the packet." You like packet? He's like, "I got
Yeah.
a juicy packet." It's like,
Yeah, because well,
It's
you
like,
know, Bucky is that life. You know, he was just like, all right, so we got all this, and this is where the cameras are, and he's like, bro, I sent you a memo. Like this ain't that game. This.
but one thing that this helped me. Okay, I'm gonna say a small pet peeve, and then I'm gonna get into Bucky real quick, and make a statement about Bucky. I really don't like Yelena's eyeshadow. It's distracting to me. I don't know why,
Okay.
but it is. I'm gonna let that.
Sure.
But I pick it up and I'll put it down and put it away. So Bucky, this movie, I was like, oh, that's why you was a senator. Word, because I'm like, what is Bucky? Now I'm like, okay, word, I get it. I get it. Now I see why you a senator. Because I was like, Bucky, what are you supposed to be doing for the community?
Well,
I don't know
honestly,
I don't know how you got votes to get. I mean, I guess because you're a war hero, sort of.
And if he's doing like they never said what he represents.
Yeah,
because you know he's got pull in Louisiana now because of Falcon and Winter Soldier, so he could be a Southern senator.
But it seems like he joined so he could work this side of the angle when it comes to stuff like Allegra DeFontaine,
and it is a very smart move.
Yeah.
But
he also was like,
wouldn't get elected down here, bro. Nah, that's giving us way too much credit.
He was like, this is troubling and worrying, and it's a very troublesome issue that we have to worry about, and we're gonna keep worrying, but we're gonna stop and find out what's troubling. It's like, what?
Marvel is really good about showing how you can be big in the Marvel world, but politics is its own game.
Oh yeah, I love that, and you know what? That harkens back to Iron Man, 2 or 3, when Robert Downey Jr. had to go there and show up just to hammer. I know people for some reason hate Iron Man 2. I liked Iron Man 2.
Iron Man 2 sets the groundwork for a lot of stuff.
Yeah, honestly, I liked Iron Man 2 better than Iron Man 3.
Yes, I did too. But people hated Iron Man 2. Like I meet people.
You know what?
Even Mark,
I think I might be able to roll with you on that.
People didn't like Whiplash, but that's another show. That's another show.
I was on the Mickey Rourke return train because the wrestler was good, and I'm like, hey, bring him in. I didn't care.
I've been a fan of Mickey Rourke for his whole career. You know, I still got 9.5 weeks on VHS, and I watch Angel Heart twice a year.
Hey man,
but
something about people that able to come back from the 80s and early 90s and still have a couple of hits when they got problems. Looking at you, Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage
ain't Jr. I mean, really?
Exactly. Wow. They ain't fall off as bad as Mickey Rourke. Mickey Rourke came back like Mickey Fate. He had that work done. He got them roids.
Yeah.
He got that weird hair going on. But it worked for a time. He did his thing.
He did The Wrestler. That was really The Wrestler.
Dope. But he was living out living it while working it.
Yeah.
Well, the thing was, Iron Man 2, it suffered from the Marvel villain at the time problem. Because it's like, is Whiplash the bad guy or is Justin Hammer the bad guy? Who we gonna focus on? And I'm not gonna say they chose poorly. It's just they had the writers splitting their attention between two characters that deserved entire movies.
Yeah, I get you.
The whole thing. So,
but I'll throw back to this. go into another statement, and I want to ask. Maybe you guys know more about this character than I did, but I'll say this movie did a great job of explaining the Sentry to me. As someone who knows about the Avengers, knows I love the new Avengers run from '04,
Oh, right
08?
before Declassified, yeah, or
Yeah.
right before disbanded, yeah.
If anyone read, it's the run where there's a breakout at the raft, Spider-Man shows up, Wolverine shows up, Cap shows up, and Cap is like, well, hey, look, we kind of what we got, and Luke Cage shows up. So it's basically just a collection of folks. You do get Hawkeye as Ronin in there. It's the series where Elektra tries to stab Luke Cage, and he's like, you know that won't work, and she says, I always gotta try. There's something I loved about that line.
I did enjoy the run of the new Avengers with them and Ronan.
Yeah, because remember, Spider-Woman was a double agent in that run.
Yeah.
She was, I can't remember who she was doming them out to. It
I
wasn't
think
Nick.
she was diming them out to AIM.
Okay. But anyway, back to this. Sentry has always been like, I don't get it. I don't get it.
Oh.
And since I don't get it, I don't care. And in this movie,
You always call me on to be the lore guy. You know that?
like I was like, I don't get it. So okay, so he's the good guy and the bad guy, and like so he's useless. He's like, I don't care. But in this movie, they did a great job of explaining. Like, I'm like, oh, all right, now I understand how. Okay, I get it.
Yeah,
Now,
essentially,
so this is one place where the live action actually made it the comics better for me instead of vice versa.
Okay. See, it's they couldn't do his comic origin because one, Sentry kind of has a nickname in my head called Captain Retcon. Because essentially it was like Blue Marvel, then the Sentry. But the Sentry's whole deal is the DID, or the dissociative personality disorder is real in him. But it was one, he was kind of Marvel's parody of Superman, even more than Hyperion, and he has like the power of 1,000,000 supernovas. Like this is literally in the book. He's like, no, 10 million supernovas. Like nothing is more powerful than him. However, one of his personalities takes over, and it's all of his repressed badness, and it's called the Void. And the more that he uses his superpowers for good, the more he has to suppress stuff. So whenever he comes out, it's a dice roll. Like, can he do enough good before the Void comes out? So Reed Richards ended up having to wipe his memory and wipe all record of him from all records, because he was in the Avengers like long time ago, and they saved the world from him. And Reed was like, yeah, we don't talk about this. Let me just invent a mind wiping machine, and I'm gonna wipe his mind first, and then I'm gonna wipe y'all's mind, and I ain't gonna talk about it. Huh?
How convenient.
Yeah.
And I hate it. I read that, and I just like, this is so kooky. But sure, he's in.
Look, comics is convoluted. That's what
and comics are weird. What I do like, though, is that the Sentry is very much the ultra nuclear option. I kind of keep him in the same category as I keep the Spectre within DC.
Okay.
Because, hey, it's the embodiment of God's wrath. When he shows up, everybody loses. Okay, so let's not talk to that guy. Who's free of sin? So Spectre shows up, judges everybody, and bails. And the Sentry comes in. He's like one of my favorite jokes from The Good Place. He's a Molotov cocktail. Because, when you have a problem, you light a Molotov cocktail, and you throw a Molotov cocktail, and boom, you have a different problem. Unless you're the Red Guardian.
Only other hero that scares me more than Sentry that you can't control off top of my head is Ghost Rider. Like, Ghost Rider does the same thing. He will, like Spectre. If the spirit take over, I might have to kill you. Like, you might be like, hey, Wolverine, oh, it's time for you to die. Let me take your soul. But I know usually he let Johnny Blaze or whoever stay in control. But also he judged fairly, like World War Hulk. He's like, Hulk ain't in the wrong. I gotta bounce.
Yeah.
I was like, what? So,
Yeah, no, it's like,
It's like,
yeah,
well,
Ghost Rider shows up.
He's got a legitimate
Like,
beef.
No, you got a
so-
point, bro.
you
I'm
don't
out.
need to get Ghost Rider involved unless he wants to, unless he's in control and you cannot
Wait.
control him.
Does that mean
So-
Ghost Rider wouldn't have done anything to Killmonger in the movie?
Let's not go there.
Maybe.
Let's not go
I'm
there.
kidding. I'm kidding.
I'm gonna say I withhold comment. But
Yeah, but yeah, I'm kind of there with you because this origin of the Sentry was really good
yeah,
without a Reed Richards. You know, because let's face it, part of Marvel in comics and especially in the MCU is we got Captain America right once, and every attempt after that has been nothing but trouble. Every single, hey, let's try it again. Ooh, that guy turned green. Hey, let's do it again. All right, yeah, they did it. They did it all right, but then they mind wiped him and turned him into an assassin. Hey, let's do it one more time. Hey, where'd you get that Captain America outfit? Kmart? You know, like every time. The only successful super soldier that's been done since Captain America, or should I say since Steve Rogers, there's only been two. America screwed the pooch on Isaiah,
Yeah.
and the Red Guardian.
Yeah.
well,
Which-
and Red
which I
Guardian
love.
did make it, but actually somebody brought this up in another podcast.
Mhm.
You know what? Actually, formula wise and maybe no issues wise, I have to say John Walker's formula actually is good. The problem is John Walker, and that's
Yes.
what's so beautiful
Yeah.
about it.
That's a good
John
point.
Walker has, other than Captain America,
Yeah,
he
there's
didn't have to get-
no crazy green
he didn't get
deformities or
big.
nothing.
He didn't have to get extra swole, whatever. He just thought he was untouchable, and he got exposed.
Yeah,
And he's
I
D-bag.
will
Stick chairs
absolutely
back to
concede
back
to
to
that
back.
point.
yeah. So
because-
it's just funny.
Yeah,
That
because
dude-
you know,
And he,
well,
but
we
he
don't have to
stole
go
it.
in on John Walker though. Everybody knows
Yeah,
he's
we
trash,
will. Yeah.
especially his family.
You know what?
Yeah.
Since we there,
God,
can I
that
just
was
say
cool.
this? Can I? Yes, that
I was like, that was low. That
I
was,
I was satisfied. Thank you.
Dude.
Yo, go back, y'all. If y'all have not watched Falcon and the Winter Soldier, that I doubt. Like I know people, it's cool. Like I'm not the biggest Mackie fan. I ain't gonna go all that, but
Yeah.
people was doubt.
I think
trashing on
we're
that
unanimous on that one. So
Was trashing that show a lot, and that was one of my favorite Marvel shows. Other than the ending.
yeah.
I know the ending kind of sucked, but the fact that that little line, because I hated all of John Walker's supporters, and I was just like, this man don't deserve no black woman, he don't deserve no black baby, and finally she woke up and be like, because he look, and this ain't look, I hate John Walker, but shout out to the actor for Wyatt for being such an unlikable person. He's like, I don't
Yeah.
want to hold my kid. I'm just gonna sit here and wallow in soap because I'm not Captain America. Blah 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 blah. Like,
Yeah.
dude,
Well-
you should be in jail. You should be in jail, bro.
Yeah, you
Like-
should honestly be in jail. And Yelena's
and that
rant-
was
Oh, go ahead.
that was actually one of the things I really liked about this movie because, you know, we know we're gonna have quips, okay?
yeah,
but
it's Marvel.
my big
There's
thing
gonna be
about
quips
quipping,
galore.
as soon as all quipping became Whedon flavored, I started hating quips. Okay, but this one, oh my god, the writers had a field day
They
because
did
just
not cut that man no slack. They like,
no, they
"Bruh,
didn't.
Good.
But I mean, just the language of the quips. It wasn't
Yes.
like everybody tripping over everybody else to get a punchline, which is very Whedon. But
Yeah.
like, I'm watching the movie. I know who Bob is. I know about the Sentry. I'm very familiar with the character. So when he started laughing, and it's like, what you laughing at, dude? You were Captain America. You're a jerk.
I was like,
dude. It's like he's only
Yeah.
known you for 38 seconds.
and he got you figured out.
Yeah, he's like, you're a jerk. But what do you expect from it's a deeper examination of what do you expect from square jawed, tall, handsome, blonde white guy who was, state champion back to back to back, plus a war
Entitled. He's
hero.
so entitled.
People have kissed his butt pretty much his whole life.
You mean
And then,
somebody that was born full and has never known what it's like to be hungry?
yeah, his butt has been kissed forever. And then he gets the formula. Now, I
Failed.
will, from his perspective, that return line when John says, so he says something to the effect, and I've seen the movie twice and I can't remember, something to the effect of that guy wasn't innocent, something like that. That goes to show how much that the death of I can't remember his name, the his partner still hits him.
Yeah.
Because when that line back of he wasn't innocent, and it's like, that was his crew. And the crew he was running with killed that dude. And let's be honest, if we were gonna go from, the average rules, if someone was with a group of people that killed your partner or something like that, you'd be like, yeah, they killed my partner. All those 3 people or 4 people or whatever, they killed my friend or whatever. And that would be your view of it. So when he said that line to them, I was like, you know what? I think I might be able to give him that. Now, I'm not saying he should have killed that man in broad daylight, but I think I'm willing to give him that argument. I think I'm willing to give him that.
Well, okay.
And
I will say
because the way he fired back so fast with he wasn't innocent, and I was like, huh. All
I
right,
could
okay.
I could give him that, but then on the flip side, because I'm gonna stay on this top for a little bit, he also chose to become a hired assassin, a hitman, a trash man for Valentina because he needed it. He needed to feel like he was worth something. And he actually when he had a chance after Bucky and them was cool, or I ain't gonna say cool.
Yeah.
What did he do? He became he still fell into worse ways and became just trash. And I'm glad his lady left and got away from this man.
Yeah.
Because for one, he's a terrible person. 2, he's self-centered, self-absorbed, and he's an assassin. Like, who know? Like he's not even ashamed of it. He's just like, but I should be the one. I should be getting kissed by America. We did
see a little bit of remorse on his face when Bucky dropped the fact that his wife was gone, because Yelena looked at him like, I thought you were talking about you had a wife to go home to and stuff like that.
Nah.
And so you did see some remorse there. So it might be one of those situations where he sees right, he wants to do right, but can't.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to bring up, is that he is a good man at heart, but he's trash in head.
Absolutely.
And I really want to put that out there. By the way, happy Free Comic Day, y'all. Because there are too many people that are like, but they're good at heart. Yeah, but their thought process and their actions that they choose to follow do not back up that goodness in their heart.
And just because you've known them for 5 or 10 years doesn't mean that you get to be able to admonish people that are turned off from him for knowing him for 5 minutes.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, I don't, like I said, in a lot of cases, I'll get it. Say if someone steals your car, and like these kids steal your car and they wreck it, and they're like, oh, well, you got to know about the struggle that these kids were in and where they came from. And it's like, yes, don't get me wrong. I know there's a space for understanding the whys, but my car is gone. And it's ruined.
No consequences.
And my car is gone. It's ruined. And who's going to replace it?
So
it's like, that's great. He's a good guy when you get to know him, but I shouldn't have to get to know him for him to be a genuinely good person. Just to have respect.
You sound like me talking about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
He had all those talents given to him, and he earned them. He is talented, but his head, I kind of don't give a dang about his heart, because he chose to be impatient and put people in risk. Now he's such a good soldier even before the serum. You could tell he was a little unhinged. He was nervous. He knew he was in over his head, but he would not admit that, hey, I need more help. Maybe
Yep.
I should not be. I cannot fill Steve Rogers' shoes. I know this. And
You can
he's a
make the
good
argument that he got Battlestar killed because he didn't wait for Sam to
thank
finish talking
what
to such and such.
and what did he do when Yelena told him to wait? He
Well,
ran out there and blah 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 blah
So
blah.
he
Well,
still,
he
Yeah.
has not learned.
And see, this is a reflection all the way back to Captain America: The First Avenger,
Thank
all
you.
the way
So,
back. When the night before the treatment, he was like, "Why are you picking me?" And he's like, "Strong men have had strength all their lives. They don't respect it,
And
you know." And the John Walker is very much a show of what would have happened if anybody else in Steve's platoon had gotten picked for the Super Soldier program. Because when you look at it, and this is a reflection of what you were talking about, Mr. Cooper, Bucky, the man who doesn't get nearly as much credit for being almost as good as Steve Rogers, you know, when I forget, I think it was Civil War, where Steve was like, you were under Hydra control. That wasn't you who did all those things. It wasn't your fault. He's like, I know, but I still did it.
thank you.
And the fact that John Walker, who, by the way, for you comic readers out there, he's always named after whiskey, okay? He's Johnny Walker. He eventually changed his name to Jack Daniels. I wish I were joking. And it's like, oh, that's what happens when Captain America gets drunk.
Yes.
But he doesn't have that heart.
And-
That whole, I may have done it. I may have even thought it was the right thing,
and remember
but I'm still responsible.
one thing
you know?
Bucky said, and we can move on. Bucky, remember Bucky? It was talking about the joke, and I think they kind of put it in as like, or I might be getting this from other lore, but Bucky's like, I'm not really a planner. That was Steve's thing, and this is in probably from this might even be from the game. So maybe
Actually, no, that was from Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Oh,
and they
okay.
actually say this in the game too. And it's just like, yeah, he's like, man, Bucky, and meticulous as Bucky is, like Steve he just know how to plan stuff. He's just a good planner.
Yeah.
Just in everyday life. And look how, his regimen and all that, even though he got the powers, he's still trained. Haha, my little Mike, love that. But he trains consistently. He keeps himself, he has a regimen, and he's just true blue hero type guy.
Not
Boy
to
Scout,
mention,
but he
Steve
needed
is
to be
smarter
that way.
than Bucky.
Steve
And
is
Bucky
a smart,
recognizes that.
Steve is a very smart man. So I'll
Yeah.
just move on from that. John is that athlete that has the tools, but then he drinks too much, he stays out partying
Yeah.
too much, and then he don't get disciplined.
Yeah.
And then
You-
he's
you-
a soldier that needs to be disciplined.
You want to know? You want to know who John Walker is? He's Will Smith. He's specifically the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air in the first 3 seasons. Pass the ball to Will. Too smart, so sharp. He cuts himself all the time.
And I'll say this, then I want to jump on probably my favorite character of the movie, but I'll say this. I will give, if they're willing to start to take accountability, I'll even give when John Walker was in front of the same type of tribunal when he was like, you're saying all of these things that you built me. You guys built me. This is what I'm supposed to do. It was all good. Like, let's be honest, in all honesty, John Walker, the only reason you really in front of us is because you killed him on camera. Let's be for real. Let's be for really real.
That's the real.
Because like he said, you built me. I've done Black Ops and all this, and you gave me medals.
But,
And he's
but
like,
you gotta be smart enough to know.
Yeah.
yeah,
You can't
exactly.
kill a
You gotta be,
man
you gotta
on
be sure.
camera.
Yeah.
Like remember
Valentina
in
is
Black
pretty
Panther
much-
when Black Panther tracked down Claw, and he was like, "Okay, we're gonna take you in, but we're gonna take you in."
Yeah, exactly. It's
Party City-
Valentina
Party
sitting
City
there
Cap.
going, "Yeah, you were Black Ops. We
Party
don't call
City
it
Cap.
White Ops. We don't do this in the day.
We don't call
Yes.
this broad day ops, noon ops.
This ain't exactly. This ain't new. This ain't brunch ops. All right. This is Black Ops.
All right, so my favorite character in the movie. Well, no, I'm gonna throw it to Coop first. Coop, who is your favorite character in the movie and why?
honestly, I gotta go two people. I can't really separate them.
Mhm.
Gotta go Red Guardian and Yelena. And even as I dog John Walker, Wyatt deserves some love too because he had to take all of that on the chin because his
Yeah.
story needed to be wrapped up. But Yelena and the actor playing Yelena, shout out to Florence Pugh,
Mhm.
shows that I liked her since I got introduced to her through the Marvel universe and all that. You know, I haven't watched her other movies. I hear they're pretty good. I hear she's a good actor. Like she came in with Marvel with this high air of I am a good actor,
Yeah.
but she never seems to carry like I never hear her like I am so great. I'm this and that. And I'm gonna just be honest. Yo, I've been hearing this discussion. I'm gonna go there. Maybe I'm a prisoner of the moment. I like her better than all of Scarlett Johansson run already.
Okay, you know what? Stick right there. Stay on your point real quick. There's this movie. I mean, there's this video on YouTube that talks about Gal Gadot and how she's not a good actress and how she's like
Yeah,
just beautiful and there and she's more branding than acting. And I'm like, you know what? This guy roasts her in the most respectable and gentle way in the video. But my boy that sent it to me, I was like, she's not alone. ScarJo is in there too.
like
ScarJo,
Ooh.
ScarJo, and Jennifer Lawrence both in there. Now,
Okay.
now
I
look.
bet
Now that's
I'm a-
from me. That's
I'm
from
gonna
me.
disagree.
okay.
Say that's from me.
I'm gonna disagree
I'm
hard.
a
because I know I'm not like everybody be loving them.
I'll
I
just
get
say
it.
this.
I just never got it.
I ain't gonna put Jennifer Lawrence in that. Nah, she
No.
actually has some talent.
Mm.
I seen her
Go
last
go back
movie.
and peep them X-Men joints.
Nah, forget the X. I'm gonna just say
Whoa, 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 whoa. Let's not say forget the X-Men.
All
You
right.
got to produce every time.
but her last
Produce every
movie,
time. Produce
Happy
every time.
Happy Endings, I liked it. She can carry. She can still
Yeah.
carry.
Yeah.
ScarJo, and
So
I guess
Produce it. Got to produce every time, man. You got
But
to put
just-
them numbers up.
back to
You know
my
what I'm saying?
point. For
That's how you become great.
favorite Florence Pugh, and I'm gonna hurry up and I'm gonna pass the mic, but Red Guardian and Florence Pugh, just the interaction together. Like I said, what hooked me in was that just little minute trailers like I'm so how you are, Yelena. I'm so he's so sad, so fulfilled. And she's like, no, you're not. Come on. But he's like the only person
Because they look around here.
the only person she can trust to go to that's still alive in her life is her not even real dad who became her real dad. They're not even
Hey.
family.
Whoever his name was might have been her father, but he wasn't her daddy.
Oh,
He
here
is
we
her
go.
daddy.
I'm your daddy, boy. Shout out to
Michael
what's his
Rooker.
name?
Yeah.
Michael Rooker. But man, if you got to bring anybody back, bring back Michael Rooker just for the hell of it. But yeah, just that their interaction and just that even from the point before all hell broke loose and they're talking and you feel like, oh, these two, they got it. These two get it. And he was like, David Harbour, Red Guardian's like, look, I know you don't believe in this. I know you don't care, but I'm telling you. And he did the thing. Is like, and she asked him, what is the best thing that you get out of this? He's like, when I was cheered on by my fellow man and they knew I was somebody and I was something and I was a hero.
Yeah,
There's
he
no
was like,
higher
when I stood
calling.
for something. You know
And
what
you
I'm saying?
just see his light beam up. It's like, oh, I know that feeling. I get that. It's like, and this Yelena, just when she doing the voiceover, she's talking, she's abusing this man, saying like, oh yeah, man, this is what's going on. Oh, like, do you have a face that will open the door? Like, she is somebody that's the worst way for somebody to have to kill or taunt you. And it's like, well, you're gonna listen to my problems because I'm crazy and I need a break and you can't open the door. You're useless. So just talk to me for a second. But you're gonna sit here and you might die. I'm sorry. But and he did, thanks to the dude. But it's just to
Word,
see
word,
somebody that skilled, but so unfulfilled in life, and for them to get it, and for other reasons too, of course, for her interaction with Bob. But yeah, Yelena and Red Guardian for me.
All right, Solar.
This ain't even a question. Okay. This ain't even a question because real talk. When you think about favorite characters, or at least when I do, I ask two things.
Mhm.
Who should this movie who should this movie have been about? And second, would I watch it?
Yeah.
And the answer is yeah. Yelena and Red Guardian? Oh, where is their series? Like I was tempted after I saw Thunderbolts to actually watch the Black Widow movie. Because believe it or not, it's the only Marvel movie I haven't watched yet.
I'll say this. Can I say this real quick?
Yeah.
Watch the first part before, like, it's the flashback when they are little and it's Red Guardian doing his thing as an undercover agent and their overcoming family. Just watch that part.
Okay.
That is actually good.
Because see, number one, David Harbour always delivers. Especially when he is playing a dad.
Watch that part and you'll see it. You will it will add more to Red Guardian.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. He is up there with James Avery and 1980s We Don't Talk About the Puddin' Man when it comes to TV dads I wish I had. Okay, I felt that way since Stranger Things. All right.
Word up.
And one, I was literally about to scream, "Get out of my head, Coop," because Yelena is written and performed 100 times better than Scarlett Johansson. Not just because she's funnier, but because she's more three-dimensional.
Absolutely.
And I think that all came down to words on the page and the director allowing the actress to work. Because honestly, I got everything out of her on this. I think she's 100 times better.
First of all, can I just throw this in? Why ScarJo never did the Russian accent?
Now, in truth,
she was like, I don't need that.
No, in truth,
I'm Scarlet.
No, they're different characters. Okay, they're different characters. The way that ScarJo was portrayed, she was so deep and so separated from her Russian roots by being the Black Widow that losing the accent, not surprising. What I didn't like about the Black Widow was she was never given any meat, even in her own movie. You know, Yelena got all the meat in the role.
Well, thank God.
She keeps the Russian accent because growing up in Russia was the only time she was happy. The second part is you can tell the difference between the two widows, the Black Widow and the White Widow, is that the Black Widow was more infiltration and the White Widow was more assassination. You know, it's Hawkeye and Black Widow are friends, but really the White Widow and Hawkeye had the same job. You know, when it came down to it, she was wet works. So she was much closer to Bucky than she was to Nick Fury. And Scarlett Johansson's character was much closer to a Nick Fury. She was everywhere. She knew everything. She infiltrated stuff. She played mind.
She probably, in her defense, she probably had, if we're going to follow the storyline wise, she had to lose the accent because she had to have a general, just English accent or general American accent, I guess.
Exactly. She could probably turn it on when she wanted to, just like she could turn on knowing physics for conversation or how she knew psychology and all that stuff. I will disagree by saying that ScarJo and Jennifer Lawrence are not good actresses. They are. I've seen their work. I know you're saying you got to deliver every time, but you can't put all that on the actor. Okay, you cannot put all that on the actor every time. There are writers, there are producers, there are directors. Those three. All right. I mean, ever notice how Denzel delivers every time because he doesn't work with bad directors and he does not say yes to a bad script. Same with Viola. All right. So let's be real. All right. You can't hold everybody to that Oscar
to the Denzel level.
No, you can't, because there ain't that many Denzel level writers out there. You know,
oh boy,
Michael B. Jordan is getting up there, but he said yes to Fan 4 Stick, and Michael B. Jordan in Fantastic Four, Michael B. Jordan in anything else. You
Now,
know, he
and
don't deliver every
honestly,
time.
I'll give a shout out to what's the director's name? Trank, Josh
Mhm.
Trank. I still want to see what that movie was actually supposed to be like because all we've heard is about like how Fox messed it up and changed it, did this, that. And
No,
I'm
I'm
still
good.
Man,
interested. I'm still well. Here's why: because when I went to see the movie, and I'll say, okay, random aside. But when I went to see the movie, like the first 30 or 40 minutes, I was like, what's the big deal? What is everybody so mad about? And
You
then,
know
like,
what?
once they come back from space or the negative zone, I was like,
can
oh,
can
Oh,
I
yeah.
give another random aside?
oh
Go
Both
man.
ahead.
both things with Josh Trank and with Michael B. Jordan. Uh, Small World. Sinners shot in Donaldsonville, New Orleans. Fantastic Four was shot in Baton Rouge or produced a lot of it here because also. So yeah, you know,
Yeah.
Small
Um.
World.
Well,
Things
in
shot here.
truth, it's cheaper to film out there than it is here.
Well, if a certain governor will bring back the credits, hopefully when he get out the way, we can get more production because we got Celtic studios right by the Costco that can do a lot of the post editing and pre-edit or whatever. Get out
Oh,
the
I
way,
thought you were
governor.
talking about my town. My bad.
Sorry. Well, I'm sorry.
If
We
they
we
bring back the tax stuff and a certain governor gets out of the way.
we can bring back the tax stuff. We will have more of these dang productions. We will have more sinners if they want to bring it
You
down
know.
here.
But
So,
but yeah, but my point on this is their relationship was so genuine. And I got to say, like I said, I didn't care about the red room stuff. The spy thing just ain't really my bag. Okay? I
okay.
just really don't care about the spy thing. But the assassin thing, well, we have a little talk about that. But the fact that Yelena's character was written so humanly,
Mhm.
okay? Nobody in the Marvel Cinematic Universe actually carries the weight of what they do. Not even Spider-Man. They're supposed to.
What about Punisher? Maybe
Huh?
Punisher?
I said
Maybe him?
cinematic
Oh,
universe. Okay.
oh.
He wears it in another
Because I
way.
honestly think Yelena and the Punisher could really relate.
Yeah, and that's kind of my point. It's
I'm good at what I do, but I don't know if I feel like doing it.
No,
But I guess I
honestly,
gotta do it because ain't
Yelena
nobody else
and
gonna do it.
Daredevil would
Yes.
actually go
Yes.
so well because they both feel tremendous amount of guilt
Sad sacks.
for what they do.
And
Sad
they
sex.
they're sad sacks, but they're
Yeah.
good at what they do. Great
Yeah.
at what they
Yeah.
do.
And hates having to do it, doesn't like what they do, knows that what they do is wrong for the right reasons.
And to be
And-
honest, both have a not to spoil, but both have maybe attempted to end their life.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
so. Yeah.
both of them have.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, in the comics, Matt's been with Natasha, so they kind of got a situationship thing going in the comic books, but because Matt, that should actually be the death battle: is which one is the bigger F boy, Dick Grayson or Matt Murdock? 'Cause those two. But
both.
yeah,
They both win.
yeah.
They both win.
But when it comes down to it, the fact that, and this is the first time that I really saw what a person was feeling in regards to what they did was in the Hawkeye show, where it showed, Hawkeye's got back problems and he's mostly deaf now because of what he does for a living. Because everybody else is like, yeah, this is what we do. Well, even though all these things are real, the safest hands are still ours. Well, thanks, super soldier. And Natasha was resigned to that life. But when you look at Yelena, you're like, dude, given the fact that these are child soldiers, she was a child soldier who grew up to be an adult assassin, and the toll that actually took on her, and they leaned into it. And then her dad was actually there recognizing it, coming into terms with when he was younger, he believed in the whole thing, but he sees the toll that it took on his kid, even though she wasn't his kid. But you know, what's his name was her father, but he wasn't her daddy. And you know, when they had their little moment, and I'm a sucker for those moments from The Last of Us to this, the whole "it was a year and you didn't call me" and all this stuff, and him going, "I didn't think you wanted me around." Ooh, that hurt.
Yeah,
that hurts. Now,
because then that means to a certain degree, you have to check your behavior. What did I do to make the person that I'm saying is my father think that I didn't want him around?
Well, the biggest thing though was that she didn't even consider that, you know, because with her, there was no question, that's my dad. But him going, "I'm ashamed of who I am, and I'm ashamed of what I allowed to happen to you." Now, Coop, I know you got kids, but do you have a daughter?
No, I do not.
Okay, so I guess as the only person on the panel here that has a daughter, that hit different. Okay, that hit real different, you know? And when they had that moment, and when he's like, "Yeah, I wasn't there, but I'm here now," you know? And she just breaks down and he's like, "Yeah, it sucks. And this is what I see in you. This is the you that I see." One of my favorite songs is "Winter" from Tori Amos. It's on the Little Earthquakes album circa 1991. And it's a song about her and her father. But the chorus is her saying, "And my father would look to me and ask, when are you going to make up your mind? And when are you going to love you as much as I do?" And that moment right there, you know, just hit all that at once. I'm like, nobody else got a moment like that in this whole movie. Of course, Bucky's moment was in Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
You know, because Steve trusted you with that. And if he was wrong about you, then he was wrong about me. And I'm like, all right, I get it. God, you know, haven't gotten that John Walker moment, but we got a couple of movies.
Yeah, we got a while.
Actually, I say we got our John Walker moment. We don't need he got to be trash. He realizes his redemption is realizing I am trash, and I need to be a better human.
I think that'll come over time as he, you know, does more heroics. And, you know, I think that'll come over time.
But he's also in a.
Oh, he's never going to be Sam Wilson.
He's never going to be. He knows he can't be Cap. He can't be neither Cap. He can't be Bucky. But can he get the job done and be fine with that? What he need to do is get his head out of his butt and his ego out of everybody's face, and then he'll be all right.
Maybe in Doomsday we will hear the pop of it being removed. Just Dr. Doom.
I'm pretty sure other people go to remove it for him.
He's gonna get humble. I will say though, the part that I was talking about when they came together to be a team. They had one of the greatest and most realistic meetups that I could see, even though in comic fashion, you know, they all meet, now they have to fight, justice for Taskmaster. However, look, man, the Taskmaster character is very important in Deadpool, and if they're bringing Deadpool in, they gotta have a Taskmaster.
Can I say this?
Well, let me finish.
I want to throw this about Taskmaster. Can I just say this real quick? I can't agree with you for the justice of Taskmaster, and this is why. That character needed to go. I'm glad they killed her off. Spoilers, they killed her off. Thank you, Ghost, with a good crack shot to the head. Like, oh, that's my assignment. Wow. Shout out to Marvel. I hate to give Bob Iger credit, but when you know that, when you have hand waving abilities, y'all, it's okay to use it. It's okay to use it. It's nobody's gonna cry over that Taskmaster.
I'm saying at least take her off the poster at this point, because
she got paid.
She got Darth Mauled is what she got.
She got paid.
Like, hey, look, they're bringing Taskmaster back. Oh, never mind.
If they really was cold blooded, she would have been on nothing.
Yeah, They
Cold
should have been for the
blooded.
amount of screen time she had. But
Oh,
yeah, now
man.
where was I going with that? Oh, yeah, the moment they came together,
Yeah.
it was no, screw it. I don't like you people. I'm not going to be on a team with you people. I am gone. And they all went their separate ways. But then when the world started falling apart, they didn't keep going. That was what I'm like. They didn't get together and put all their hands in the middle and go Whoa Bundy or Fantastic Four or Avengers or whatever.
Whoa, Bundy. Oh, shout out
they,
to it.
they,
Yeah.
Wow.
they didn't have that
Oh,
moment.
wow.
They just said,
Wow.
"Oh, people are in danger,
I feel
and I can help people."
And we still saw John put himself under the weight of the pressure of that, like, I guess, fallen half a building or whatever, when he knew he couldn't hold it on his own, but he still with it. So that's what we're saying. It's in there. It's you know how the Grinch heart is two sizes too small. It's like it's in there, but we have like John. You got to bring it out. You got to take the heart and bring it out.
And let's not forget that John is kind of the reason that they won, because when Yelena did the hero sacrifice, that was when he came clean with like, actually, there might be a thing because I saw some stuff back there. And so if not for John Walker, the rest of the team wouldn't have gone to the Mindscape. You know, he was the one that convinced them, because if not, it just would have been Yelena and Red Guardian, which would have been a movie I would have watched. But yeah, I mean, that was kind of all the thing. But yeah, that moment where the whole movie, they're making it real clear. You can't trust me. I'm out for myself. It was just a team of Wolverine. That's all it was. Just, you know, I don't like you. I don't want to be here. And real facts, the only reason we are together is because I will die if I'm not part of this team. But the moment my life is not in danger, I'm gone. I am so done with you. And you know, they went in and they all tried to save Bob. And then they got mollywopped, which is, you know, what's supposed to happen when you fight against the Sentry.
Yeah.
And then they're like, huh?
You know what? Let's flip to that, because let's flip to that. The battle against the Sentry was well done.
Oh, I loved it.
I was wondering how they were going to play him, and I'm like, ooh,
They made it
this was well done.
very tactile. You felt them punishing blows. And I got to give a shout out to Lewis Pullman. Like, Bob, I ain't gonna say he got on my nerves, but it's like the actor did, you know, son of the late Bill Pullman, shout out to him. He played 2 to 3 different people convincingly, between the loser that is Bob at first, and happy-go-lucky guy, then the sorrow Bob, and then you got Sentry / Void. Now I will say, I hope that they do bring the actual Sentry, like when he's heroic, or try to be, but I know he can't, like you say, he can't be heroic too long. Void the Void ain't gonna let him.
You do read the comics, right?
I read enough of them that
I've never read enough of the Sentry. I just know enough of
read-
them to know that it's convoluted, and I don't care. Like when I got to it, I was like, I don't care. I was like, he was in the New Avengers for a second.
It takes everything to get Bob into action.
Yeah,
everything.
It takes Hulk or Reed or Spider. It takes somebody that's so high in the Marvel pantheon of like that universe to be able to kind of talk to Bob. Generally, now when he's on, but you do need him to turn off. That's the problem. Like, he needs to turn off after assignment. He needs to be a point where Bob is not bobbing, is not doing the Sentry. Like it's the point where I remember I even read the New Avengers, some of it when Ares joined the team. You rather have Ares around than Sentry sometimes. And Ares is the god. You know, read his myth. Ares is a few ticks
He's not
away
a good guy
from the devil. You know what I'm saying? You rather have Ares than Sentry, because Ares can't do nothing with Sentry. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no,
but
Sentry. I think the only person in Marvel that can stand up to Sentry that isn't a cosmic being is Blue Marvel. I think he's the only one. Which, come on, MCU, have a
Come on.
little guts and
Come on.
give us a Blue Marvel.
I'm
Yeah,
fine
I
without
mean,
Blue Marvel.
the battle world will be a perfect example. I mean, a perfect opportunity to bring people in. I assume that's how they're going to bring
Well-
the X-Men in.
Oh,
They'll just
and
bring 'em
also,
in and just be like, X-Men are the X-Men. Don't ask no questions.
I wanted to bring up a point, or I wanted to talk to one of Coop's points about Josh Trank.
Mhm.
Give him Doctor Strange.
No.
Give him Doctor Strange. I can,
Well, you think so?
Yeah, well, one, he wanted to do the whole Cronenberg body horror thing with the Fantastic Four. And I'm like, you know what? Give him Doctor
Actually-
Strange, let him do that, and take it away from Raimi. You know?
Take him out of Marvel. Give him original work. I would like to see him stick in Chronicle. Great movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would like him to do another Chronicle or
Yeah,
something
Chronicle
similar.
is dope.
I don't need him in the Marvel machine.
Actually, you know what he would be good at? If you're listening, James Gunn, by the way, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, NERDSoul. Give him the Legion of Superheroes.
I would give Trank something small, contained, and keep him focused. And make sure that he is in the right frame of mind and small, contained, and artistic, and not connecting to something bigger than he can handle.
Yeah, like I said, the Legion of Superheroes. They're
I
in the
don't
30th century.
no superheroes, original, dark,
Wow.
So
simple.
No, I think he could do that.
Just think, Chronicle. They ain't explain where that stuff. They ain't explain nothing. They just got
Yeah.
it, and they
They
went
just
with
got it, and they just
keep him in that. That's him. That's him all day.
now.
So, but yeah, so my favorite characters in the Thunderbolts, hands down, were the White Widow and the Red Guardian.
All right, cool.
I love them. I did not expect Yelena to be the heart of the team. The heart and the conscience. I thought they would have given that to Ghost.
Really?
Like for real, yeah.
To a certain degree, I
Ghost
feel
is
like
a-
they didn't really give Ghost much to do.
They really didn't expand on her character much because they poured it all into Yelena, and I don't
That's-
mind that.
That's where,
Um,
but that's where one ding of this movie comes from me, because at the end of the film, all right, so how can I? Okay. So when we're in the post-credit scene, and we see the team still operating 14 months later.
Okay, that one, yeah.
So we see the team still operating 14 months later. I was expecting the team to operate at least a little bit differently than they did literally 14 months ago. And that's the moment where I like think of this. Coop, you and I, or me and Solar or whatever, we interact with each other differently now than when we did when we first met. You know? So I was expecting like a slight different in the interaction, like maybe like a better interaction.
I jumped in
but-
on that.
Well, hold up real quick.
Let me finish your point.
With this, that made me realize even more that Ghost didn't really have anything at all. They were like, everything is Yelena's, a little baby bit to Bob and John Walker, and you don't really need Bucky to have anything because we already know him. And Ghost just just ride in the back seat. You'll be all right.
Well, it's really interesting because I'm looking at the dynamics of the team. Now, I thought it was actually kind of cool because it hit me. Wait a minute. They got an intangible person, an assassin, and 3 super soldiers on the same team? Wow. Too bad none of them can fly. But the thing that got me
I did
was,
like that they touched on the super jump thing though. He was like, "Oh, no problem, I got this."
yeah. But
he was like, "It's higher than I thought."
I want to know what that shield is made from. Because no,
Cast
he didn't-
iron? I don't know.
But the whole thing that I was noticing though is I see Ghost's part, which is she's the espionage, she's the spy and the thief. She's that part of the Black Widow. where Yelena is much closer to Hawkeye than she is to Black Widow that we saw in the
And-
last Avengers. You know,
Okay.
So I want to, and to throw into your point,
Mhm.
I'm not mad at where Ghost is at, and this is why. Because just like what Solar just said, she is an intangible person. She is a science freak, thinking more of into the world. Even though she got a better handle on it, they also have killed a lot of people. So she might not want to keep showing. She doesn't probably really want her face shown. I don't think because she couldn't. She's just a person who's adapting to reality. Like, she's grown, but remember, she couldn't even come out for a while, and then she
Yeah.
became a contract killer.
yeah,
or
she's
a
a
saboteur.
pragmatist.
So,
Yeah.
with that said, also, it's kind of freaky to have somebody like that running around. See, do you really want them in the? You don't really want that known. If you Valentine, like, all right, Yelena was ready for her. Remember, she said, "Hey, maybe I need to be in the public."
Yeah, something more public facing. Yeah.
So, and also, she didn't really have too much to say in Ant-Man. She didn't really have many lines. She was more of a special effect. She had a few. So I don't really. She's not that big
In
of
all
an
fairness, though, she was playing opposite Lawrence Fishburne. I mean,
Yeah. So with that, so she's not that substantial yet. And I know just because she's a
Alright,
smaller
word.
actor, but she's not substantial.
see what you did
but-
there. See what you
but-
did there.
Her lines were good that she did give them, and she delivered them, and they
Yeah.
were funny.
Yeah,
She had
yeah.
a little bit,
When she had something
but-
to do, she definitely came through.
but
Yeah.
she's not really a. She didn't even have the sarcasm a little bit. It was like Yelena rubbed off on a little bit more. I mean, Yelena is the star of this.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but it's just
And she carries it. Her, especially, I'll say honestly, when I watch this, I know this is Yelena's movie, but Red Guardian, man,
I mean,
yo, Hop,
it's his movie.
yo,
too.
I just love seeing you and stuff. Honestly,
yeah.
I can't wait till the last season of Stranger Things. I need to put a date on it. All right, don't be like
We already
Grand
got a
Theft
date for the last Karate Kid, so
Don't be-
you know, can we
don't
get
be
one
like,
for Stranger
uh,
Things?
Don't be like Grand Theft Auto. Say y'all coming out this year, and then be like, never mind, we're gonna come out next year. I'm just saying.
Well, that's yeah.
And I want
Um,
to put one more technical thing before we get to it. Just the way that even though Thunderbolts asterisk / New Avengers, but the good thing about it, even though wherever Ghost was kind of at, because she wasn't really in the end credits too much, or you didn't see her, it does leave room for. I know. Look, in the perfect world, I know we ain't gonna get Luke Cage, Black Panther, Spectrum,
Yeah.
and all the black ones on the
Yeah.
team. It would be dope.
Who was on that
Hey,
team?
It
I'm trying to think who
leaves
was on that team.
room for maybe them to change up the lineup.
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely going to get a lineup change. I see Shang-Chi coming in. I
thought
might
he gonna
even
be-
see Wong. I might even see Wong on this one.
Okay, yeah, it was the run from 2004 to 2010. That's what it was.
And
It had Luke Cage, Spider-Man, Ronin as basic Ronin as Hawkeye. Who
Wait,
else
is
did we
it
have?
Hawkeye or
Spider-Woman.
Echo as Ronin in that run?
it was,
I think it was
Hawkeye.
Hawkeye. I think it was
Hawkeye.
Hawkeye as Ronin.
and
Okay.
then Blade jumped in as Ronin a little bit. As
Because
well.
I'm looking at some of the covers. Oh yeah, because Strange had to come in, and that was like way later. Yeah, okay. So yeah, we did have. It was like, but the main team was like Spider Woman, Luke Cage, Wolverine. Wolverine. Captain Marvel was there. So all right, yeah, we can't really roll with that team. I mean, we got Mike Coulter said no one called him, so I mean, technically Luke Cage could be there.
Yeah.
Well, he's
We
still
could
working
do a
out his
Spider.
contract.
We could do a Spider Woman thing, but I know that's weird with
Jessica
you know-
Drew, I don't see them bringing her in.
Yeah,
I'll say
Oh.
this: she might could come in. Maybe she could just pop up in Secret Wars like how they did in the comics. Like, oh, I'm just
Yeah, that's
hey,
true.
Yeah.
I'm
With
Jessica Drew.
Secret Wars coming out, that opens up a lot of the Marvel universe.
But also because of
but that also
failed-
means we might get a Black Swan, and let's not. Let's truly not.
but because of Madam Web, maybe they stay away from Jessica Drew. Maybe it might be too overlap because there was too many.
True.
We could get Carol back. I know we're getting Monica back. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure Monica is going to be on the new Avengers team.
I'm gonna just be honest, man.
Yeah,
Just give
that-
me Monica. Just give me Monica. Don't bring Carol back. And I like the actress,
comment.
but the way they did, just let it go. Let her say she's off space, and hey,
No, no,
Spectre's back.
She's in the X-Men universe. That's what we got from the end
That's-
credit scenes
yeah.
of the Marvels.
Yeah.
So
For
and
me,
they
I
have her-
just don't need Carol. I just don't need her.
See, I'm a fan of Carol. I really am.
Me too.
I
But
just
this,
I wish that Disney would, again, all that stuff came out during the quantity over quality part. Now
Yeah.
that we're back in the quality swing, I think we could do some good stuff now.
that's why
Yeah, I think
want
she'll be fine.
Tiana Paris to get her love, to get that
Facts.
Captain Marvel juice, and she is my Captain Marvel. She was Captain Marvel for that.
Again,
And let her represent some more of down culture down here. Let her bathe in the culture to represent and talk about her people down here a little bit, like how they would the comics every once in a blue moon. Everybody ain't gotta be from New York, but I get it. But I'm just saying,
you
I'm
loved
sorry.
Cloak and Dagger, didn't you?
No,
Man,
I
Cloak
don't
and Dagger. I'm
I
gonna
did
be
not like
real with
Cloak and
y'all.
Dagger.
I like Cloak and Dagger, and it was way better than I expected it to be.
It wasn't bad. I just didn't
Cloak
like
and Dagger as well as Runaways. I actually enjoyed both shows. I did.
I like Cloak and Dagger twice as much as I thought I would, and half as much as those characters really deserve. But again, they were. I got a big
I'll
thing
say
in my
this.
heart for Cloak and Dagger.
Now, yeah,
Like I really do. I like the characters, although I know their origins, but if they would kill the codependent interracial relationship allegory from the Cloak and Dagger comics, I think that it would be really like there's a lot of potential there. But also I'm fully aware, because I was there when it happened, that they were created as, essentially they were Dare comics.
Yeah.
But
and
if
Solar,
yeah,
I gotta say this: if they separate them from each other, you know what's gonna happen. Cloak gonna wind up dead. Remember, they did make him crazy one time, and then and look, I don't know if you play the game, but yes, they are very popular. They're in Marvel Rivals. I'm just saying, a lot of people sometimes don't even acknowledge Cloak as his own person.
yeah,
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
they either package deal or what happens to Cloak. We all know it's three black men.
I'm fully aware. I really am. But just in my wildest dreams, we Cloak belongs in the magical sector of comic characters, so he should be hanging out with Wong and Blade and Brother Voodoo and Damian Hellstorm, those guys. And
I get it.
yeah, so that's where I'm at. But I'm just asking because it's that show was less about them and more about Nolans.
They should bring them back animated. They should not do live action with Cloak and Dagger.
I agree. I agree.
Up that should be a more adult theme animation. Actually spend the money, Marvel. Don't do what you did What If.
Like X-Men
If you hear this,
97. Yeah.
Even just something different. And if you want to use that as a one-shot movie or something, or as a series, it can be done. Anime does it all the time. But I know that's a different culture. But if you want to just give us a 2-hour movie,
it's a different culture that isn't in a bubble. Like, America is extremely open to watching formats like that. So why not take advantage of it? One thing that Disney Plus has not done is use their platform in a way that seems like it would make the most sense. You can do OVAs now. You can do Marvel specials like Werewolf by Night that you blew it with the momentum you had, but don't get me started. This is the platform to do those things where it's like, you know what? We want to do a series, but before we order 20 episodes, let's see how 50 minutes goes. Okay, word, they like it? Cool. Let's do 8 episodes. You know what I'm saying? You can do that.
You mean use the BBC model all day?
Thank you.
All day.
People that will get the contract for these highly anticipated adaptations of manga for anime and then don't promote it. They just buy it. They just lock it in now, for us who get around the lock in, various ways. But they really like legit, they really tick off the anime community because, now, Undead Unluck, go hear about that, us talk about that. That was a failure for us. But for some people, they really want to like it and some other stuff, but they are I don't know, they're spending money on it, but I don't understand why buy a thing that you're gonna remote or do a thing and then you don't tell nobody.
They do that so that nobody else will.
But they actually can just put a couple of ads and put a little anime button on Disney Plus to say, hey, here's this anime.
No,
watch it.
No, quite honestly, that makes sense from a consumer point of view, but understand they have to lose X amount of money every year. They need them tax write-offs.
Oh, yeah,
you know.
Remember
why the Roger Corman Fantastic Four was made.
Well, that's right. Let's spend a lot of money. We got to lose this money. Let's buy that. Let's buy this away so Sony can't get it.
And you kill two birds with one stone. Sony can't get it, and they get their money back. So,
because quick aside, because everybody always get mad at Disney own everything. Look, they get what Sony owns. That's all I'm gonna say, y'all. They own anime for North America.
Essentially, Sony owns all North American anime.
Yeah. There's no way to not go through them, other than the sliver.
You gotta go through me.
Of High Dive or Netflix.
Well, Sony is its own monster. All right, I've had beef with Sony since the 90s, but not that I wouldn't work for them. It's just if they offered me a job, I know I'd be working for a monster.
We work for everybody works for a monster.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things where it's like, it really isn't Warner Brothers versus Disney. It's Warner, Disney, and Sony in a cage match.
And Universal.
No, Universal is mostly owned by Disney. So, I mean...
Oh, I thought Universal was owned by Comcast.
Or Comcast Universal.
Yeah, well, because, see, what happened was... Because I remember, because I was working at Comcast at the time. So I think NBC bought Universal and then Comcast bought NBC.
Yeah.
The reason I know is because we got memos all around the office about like how it's being received in the press. Because once that happened, I was like, this is pretty quick, isn't it? And Congress thought it was quick too. And Congress was like,
hey, that's pretty quick.
Are y'all trying to have a monopoly over?
I mean,
technically, and Sony's
Universal...
like, no, look, Disney has ABC.
It's almost like you planned for this to happen because
Warner Brothers teamed up with Columbia, right?
Like super fast.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean it's a thing, but yeah, I'm just
Well, Sony owned Columbia now.
Yeah, because because Warner because they could outbid Warner. But again, it's like most people are like, yeah, Warner and Disney. But here comes Sony with the steel chair from outside the ring.
Yeah,
I mean,
Sony with the steel chair for anime, which like people do not realize how large it really is. It's not a fringe culture no more. We're not huddled in Suncoast in like 1993 anymore. Like this is like anime is huge.
That's why Netflix is doing all it can to steal what it can away from. Dude. Well, actually, Netflix has to work with Sony, but they'll just be like, "All right, look, give us rights." I appreciate Netflix. I know we're rabbit holing, but I love that they'll be like, "Hey, like Dan to Dan, can't wait till July season 2. We're gonna be talking about it." But they're like, "Hey, all right, we know y'all got it somehow." Crunchyroll and I guess Japan, they can't really get around Sony because Sony Mafia. Sony Yakuza. But they like, look, Netflix, just like Netflix, like, look, let us simultaneously show it to America too as well. You got yours, we got ours. We'll throw in some cash, we'll do that. Bam. All right, cool. So I always wonder how those simultaneous dubs work. That ain't for everybody. But when you gotta hit money can,
Well, honestly, I've been out of it for long. I was this close to starting to watch Naruto, and then I found out that my favorite character, I'd pretty much seen his whole story arc in YouTube clips, so I'm like, I don't need to watch that.
Before we get back to Thunderbolts, Solar, when we finish, I'm gonna recommend you an anime that you would like.
Well, all right, cool. I'll throw it to this because I know we've been on almost 2 hours now, so I'm gonna throw it to Solar. Final thoughts, and where can they find you?
Final thoughts, actually easy. Thunderbolts, very much feels like a return to form to Marvel. This seems like this has the feeling of the type of Marvel movie that people have been asking for since Endgame. Um,
Okay.
it doesn't have what feels like the build to an epic overall scale, but it's got very much phase one vibes where we don't know about Thanos yet, but you know what? This is a cool team. This is a cool team with cool characters. It was a decent enough adventure, and what was missing in the plot was made up with character interactions. So, quite honestly, if you got an extra $10 and you're free on an afternoon, go see Thunderbolts. It really is that cool. You know, I I I honestly wasn't expecting it to be this good, you know? And this is coming from somebody who I like a lot of the stuff that I see. I enjoyed the Marvels, but I didn't have very high expectations. And when I looked at Thunderbolts, I'm like, yeah, I guess. I mean, you know, it's the new Marvel thing. I guess I'm gonna have to watch it for all
But
this
we
stuff.
got we got to go see it.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh my god, I am compelled. This is a very decent movie. Again, it feels a lot like Iron Man or Captain America: First Avenger. Um, it has very much Phase Two vibes in the sense of
Okay.
you have to have done a little bit of homework on these characters, but not a lot. But even if you didn't,
You can
what
kinda
they
pick
show
up.
in the movie shows you enough about them for you to keep up with the movie. And that was cool, you know? They lampshaded what they needed to lampshade. and and they got on with the movie that they were showing. Um Again, the whole relationship between Red Guardian and White Widow, A plus all the way across the board. You know, I actually think my favorite moment was when he showed up in the desert with the limo.
Oh
And
yeah.
she was like, "Oh man, oh," and she tried
So
to hide.
embarrassed.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And again, if any of us have ever had parents, we didn't even have to be with homies. We just had to be with with people that went to the same school. All right, and it was like, oh my god, no, no, please don't let them see me, don't let them see me. And they're getting out the car, and they're calling me by name.
Because of course they show up. They don't show up first. They show up after like the two or three kids whose parents have like the Escalade or like the Lexus. You know, they or some like or some kind of like Land Rover.
And then they show up like
and then-
Mama
and then-
LaRusso
and then
on
it's
your
like,
first date
Mom,
with
hurry
the
up,
rich
hurry,
chick.
Hurry up,
Yeah.
Mom! Just open the door so I can get it. Come on, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
You know. And again, it gave me very much the Karate Kid Part 1 vibe, the Into the Spider-Verse vibe. You know, love you, son. You're supposed to say I love you back, Dad. Just say it. Love you, Dad. Love you, Dad.
I love you,
You know.
too, Dad.
And it's like,
That's
you
a
know,
copy.
and he's going into, I swear to God, it's supposed to be a kill zone. And he gets out the car. I'm yelling your name. I'm trying to save my
Man.
kid. So
Shouts out to that
lovably
digital
inept.
dash, that old school digital dash.
Uh-huh.
So it
So,
said 53, 54.
But yeah.
I was like, are we gonna go any higher?
I mean, oh my God, yeah.
They're
So yeah,
chasing
I
us.
mean, just the fact that the more we talk about this, the more enjoyable moments that are coming up in my head to talk about and make me smile. And isn't that the reason that we go to see movies? So yeah, love this. You guys want to find me? You can find me over on my YouTube channel, Solar Gray. Look up BidP Blurred. Or check out the Instagram at Back in the Deck. That is BACKINTHEDECK. And of course, you'll be able to find me soonish on twitch.tv/BID_P. And
Word
thanks
up,
for having
word
me
up.
on.
All
Oh,
right, man.
real quick, push the like button and subscribe.
Oh yeah,
You know,
yeah.
My
Please.
man over here is trying to
Share
get
this.
to, my man over here is trying to get to that 10,000
yeah,
10,000 follower
10K.
count.
10K is the
what's
next
up?
one. 10K
Click,
is the
click.
next one. Go on.
That's it.
Hook
Click,
us
click.
up.
That's it.
That's all you gotta do. All
Yeah.
right, cool. What you got?
Final thoughts. Other side of it, I know that we ran long, but I just want to give a shout out to them for tapping into the mental illness of a character. Like somebody said on another pod, this is like if A24 made a superhero movie, and the second half of it really like, oh, we're going there. And then when you see going into Robert's mind, you see that he was abused as a kid. You see everybody's dark secrets in their face, and they got to relive it. And then like Yelena reliving that murder over and over and over again. Which,
very cool way to tell stories and speed past things.
yes, that was one of the best things. Like that was a scene reminiscent of one of my favorite anime movies of all time, and just anime things. Mugen Train or Demon Train from Demon Slayer, when Tanjiro had to relive his pain over and over. He almost committed suicide, and then Yelena almost committed suicide, and then to find like, oh, so when you saw that,
and
it's like,
John
damn,
almost did too.
and John almost did it. So you see that like, oh damn, like Yelena went there, like she was done with life, and then you fighting yourself, you're fighting your demons, literally, and I know it's nothing new, but it was done so stylish that it feels new and fresh, and it to that in a Marvel movie that it can shirk off the Marvel machine for all of the I need original movies. All the people who better be going to see Sinners, if you want this, to get this type of vibe in two movies back to back. For me, just as a person, I know these ain't connected, but for them to have well-made art to say, all right, there's no beam in the sky, there's no massive explosion, or somebody or the government person that we don't like is going to be leading us, so they're going to come around. No, it's got to come from within. It got to come from within us. We must defeat our own evil. And Bob was creepy, man. He creeped me out, and he was like, he comes back. It's funny, silly play time. He's like, oh, what happened? It's like, oh, and I was like, good job, actor, but I hate you, Bob. Like, I know we want to protect you because we need to live. And even shout out to the side character, Mel's assistant, where she like, my boss is crackpot, I want to live. And she was like, hey, y'all, come over here, come solve this. I don't care. Like, this dude gonna kill us all.
She said, bring everybody.
Bring everybody. Like, this is a bad decision. Like, shout out just to that actress. I think that was supposed to originally be the lady from The Bear, but then they got delayed. She had to drop out. That was supposed to be her role. Just like Steven Yeun was supposed to be the Sentry, he had to drop out. It could have had Invincible in there beating up everybody, but still. But the Sentry scene was shocking. It was chilling. The void, just full of black Air Force energy. He just ran around like, but it felt very hit. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, can I give a shout out to the fact that the superheroes were put in a problem where they not only they couldn't punch their way out of, but punching their way out of it was the wrong thing to do.
Absolutely.
I like that a lot.
They hit him with is the Care Bears. They had to hit him with the power of love, man.
The way
Power
they did
friendship.
That Dark Shadow, it was very Hitchcockian of it all. Very simple, but very disturbing. And he just, I'm gonna wipe you out of existence. By the way, I'm a god.
And remember, people in New York be like going through the worst, bro. Because like, remember, just because Bob loses his memory after these extreme psychosis things or whatever, like, and I'm pretty sure I'm using the wrong term. All y'all therapists out there, you know what I mean, though. So anyway, all those people that went to the dark place and came back, they didn't forget. Like, bro, remember, we just disappeared and came back. And now, like, bro, like, look, I'm leaving New York. I gotta
know what?
I don't know, Philly, Detroit, DC, something. No. If I have to have a big city, or maybe a mid-sized city, St. Louis, but I got to get out of New York.
Now, look, we talked about this in Daredevil, okay? This is Marvel planting seeds all over their properties so that when the mutants finally pop up, they are hated.
Absolutely. Because the Sentry, like, if anything of the Sentry comes out, I'm sick of this superhero garbage. Like, I'm sick of these super people.
I'm kind of
like,
tired of this.
And the people who do probably know are the government people.
And then, of course, the people out in, say, Wisconsin, Oklahoma, you know what I'm saying, Colorado, something like that, Indiana, places
They
where they're
don't
like, oh,
know,
we don't have superheroes. Now, all of a sudden, these mutants are here. Like, whoa,
and they
hold up. I
don't
thought
know
this
how to
was just
deal
a
with
New
it.
York thing. I came out here to not worry about. Now these crazy, weird people are here, too. And, okay, I can see that.
And then when you open
Just
it
give
up
me the
to,
real Cyclops. Don't give me that 80s I want my Cyclops.
hey man, you
Post
get
post House of M Cyclops. Give me the real one. The real Cyclops that's down for the movement. He down for the people.
you're
You know
gonna
what I'm
get
saying?
James Marsden again, and you're gonna deal with his issues first. Then we'll see.
Shouts to
At least you're
James,
gonna
man.
have,
I like Donut Lord. You know what I'm saying? So
at least gonna
I
get a competent. They at least gonna let him be competent this time. And he's a
yeah.
little older.
I with that being said, I'm hoping it's the Colossus from Deadpool
Nah,
because
maybe.
that's my
Yeah.
Colossus.
Okay.
That right there is my Colossus.
The young
Yeah.
I remember the young kid, and I honestly don't have an issue with the young kid from X2. I have an issues with the writers of X2 that robbed us from a scene where Colossus and Wolverine tell these
Doing the
men,
fastball special.
this is our house. And you
Ah,
ain't invited. We were robbed of that scene.
well,
To this day,
even if they
we were
weren't,
robbed
the
of
other
that
guys
scene.
would be like, "Come on, man, let me in."
It's
I'm one of Charles Xavier's students.
it's
Ain't we all
X2, man.
mutants? Ain't
I
we supposed
mean,
to be in this together? Us against the friends of humanity. Just let me in. Let me in. Let's talk about this.
be happy. X2 is as good as it was with those directors who need, some of them need to go to jail. But
Yeah,
y'all look that up. But yeah,
yeah,
just the fact that they went there with the darkness and just simple, like, bro, nothing is scarier than the human mind. Just by
yeah.
making him a living shadow with glowing eyes looking down upon you, just like it's almost like one of them old radio serials. I know, folks, I'm saying something really old. My dad used to tell me about it. But where you gotta, like, when you listen about the shadow knows, and it's so
Yeah.
simple, but it's so damn frightening. And it's just like, who is the shadow?
Yeah,
What is
because
the
for
void?
however
Why?
long,
I
It's
know
however
we're
like,
still
long
on
it
this,
took.
but can I
Okay.
piggyback off you, Coop, and say
sure.
major shout outs to the sound design on that?
Yes, it got
Oh yeah, yeah,
heavy. The sign was, you can feel like it made your skin crawl just a little bit. Maybe my skin crawl a bit.
I mean,
But
you get the superhero movies, and you're expecting a big booming orchestral soundtrack and the big I'm fighting the army of
it got
CGI
quiet.
people and all that stuff, and then it was like, whoa,
It's
no,
like, what if people just died and
Mhm.
yeah.
everything other than
Or were sent
airplanes
to
flying?
avoid / purgatory or whatever. Because
Yep.
remember, however long it took for them to save Bob, those people were locked in their absolute worst memories.
yeah,
Yeah, and it's just,
That now,
whew,
I mean, it might have been different for maybe like infants because they really don't have one, but who knows? You know what I'm saying? Like this is.
you know
I'm
what?
sure New Yorkers are probably tired of heroes right
and I
now.
mean the
Heather
void,
from Daredevil is about to get real rich.
and well, let's see how long she lives. But
I'm just saying, after the Sentry thing, her calendar is gonna be booked.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it. I say it's about a solid 8 for me. I love, like I say, Red Guardian. You know, that's a character that he could have been in The Boys. He could have been in The Venture Brothers. He could have been in.
I see the Veteran Brothers
other-
100%.
He could have been in anything with washed up. Like he still got it, but he's so washed up that nobody even knows who he is. But that's kind of like the secret of the sauce. That's why he got to still be around, and he just comes on like, it's like, I'm been a terrible dad, but I'm also this really great dad. He's like, I came as like he came like I knew, I heard, and I knew what to do.
yo, he
to
went
come
straight
get
into
you.
action. He
But
didn't.
he did
He
it.
was like, "Did you sleep?" That man
No.
did not sleep.
And
That
don't
shows
drink,
that shows the dad he is. He did not sleep.
don't
But at the
drink
same
from that
time, he
cup
was
in the
like,
back.
"Don't
As
drink
he
from the cup."
talked about driving across Wyoming,
Look,
that
all
right there.
Let me tell you, there's nothing wrong if you got to go in the cup. You got to go. Pour it out, bruh. Pour it out. All right,
It's time
pour it out.
to empty.
Don't
They
save
leak
it.
that out.
There's no need to save it. Pour it out.
Don't be like that astronaut wearing diapers. Long ago she went to go get a man. Crazy
I drove
stuff.
cross
But
country with a toddler. I know sometimes you have to pee in the car, but pour it out on the side of the road. It'll be fine. Pour it out.
I
Pour it out.
understand.
Just Keep moving.
I ain't that dude no more. I mean, I never really was. I'm gonna stop, y'all.
Look,
I'm gonna stop.
look,
You
I
gonna miss
got
some
love.
time.
I got love
Yeah.
for y'all small town gas stations, but look, y'all bathrooms. Sometimes I'd rather just go to the tree line. Let's just keep it real.
And
Some of
also
these bad.
small
Look,
bathrooms.
I've opened some of those bathroom doors and been like, mm,
Also,
mm-mm,
I don't want to
mm-mm.
see any antler heads or any like dead animals on the
Oh
wall
yeah.
before that. Don't throw me off and don't put it in the bathroom either. Just. But on the flip side, I do shout out to Mississippi. There's a gas station called Gators. I always love weird gas stations that's named after animals. I take pictures of them, especially if they have immaculate art. It's kind of a hobby of mine.
Okay.
If I see it, Gators, I love it. I don't remember it being called Gators, or they refreshed the sign out there in what is that right there before you get to Gulfport? Anybody in Mississippi, y'all know what I'm talking about. But it's Gators. It's one of the exits. I stop at there every blue moon. I stop there on my way to Mobile. Shout out to you because I like your sign.
I will say one
But
thing. Thank God. Shouts out to Bucky's. Bucky's, y'all keep it real. Y'all nice and fresh.
hey,
No
they
issues with y'all. Y'all good.
You know,
they
I'm a
getting a new
flying J
Bucky's.
kind of man, so
Flying J.
Yeah.
They got. Funny enough, Biloxi also will have a Bucky's, and I never been to one. I'm gonna go to that one. I think
It's
we're
like
getting one in
it's like
Louisiana.
the Disney World of gas stations.
Yeah, I heard.
They've
And I
never
seen
been
this-
to a Bucky's, but yeah, we got the Flying J truck stop out here, and I'm like, you know what? I can see it.
I
Hey.
am going to eat so much barbecue that day when they get their
Oh
Bucky's
man,
in
look,
Biloxi. I'm gonna eat
Is it-
on the way from the beach and to the beach.
See,
there's
y'all
a spot
killing
in
me.
North
I've been wanting.
Carolina that the next time I go down there, I gotta get like a vat of coleslaw because it's like perfect coleslaw.
Bro,
and
the
just
next
bring it
time I'm
back.
coming out to see either of y'all. Now, if I go out to see you, Coop, I'm getting myself a rack of pork ribs, a rack of spare ribs. If I come to see you, I'm like, I got to get myself some smoked brisket and a smoked beef rib or two.
See, if
Or
you come
two.
here though, depending on the day, you gotta get you some boudin balls, man, some jambalaya.
Yeah, maybe, but
Ah.
I'm not really one for spicy, nor am I one for getting laughed at by the ancestors. So, you know,
Man, boudin with pepper jack cheese,
you know.
chef's kiss.
And
The
when
only
y'all
thing-
come out here, I will hook you up with Mexican. But
Ah,
yeah,
The only thing about Baton Rouge, which is dope, is like I can't mess with shellfish. It is like
oh
it's
no,
like-
no crawfish, no crawfish for you.
That's why you gotta go boudin with sausage. Don't they don't
okay,
really boudin and jambalaya is more your
all right,
because
well,
everything else is not going to
yeah, I ain't gonna be able to do
jive with you.
nothing.
like
Although I'm
no
not gonna
crab.
lie, if I do end up in that neck of the woods, I am getting myself a bucket of dirty rice. Just a
Yes.
bucket. Just
But
Hey,
don't
bring it back.
sleep on soft shell crab either. And shout out to shout out to the Asian places that do soft shell crab bao, chow young fat. I just gotta shout them out. Like ever since y'all was created, not only are they the cheapest place to get anything with soft shell crab. Y'all, if y'all get soft shell crab,
Soft shell
you
crab
want it,
is the bomb. Even though I
it's
can't eat it no
expensive.
more, it's the
It
bomb.
is it is expensive. The cheapest way to get it is chow young fat. You can get it in a bao. It's filling. It's good. They are consistent.
or
Hello.
work on a boat for about a month.
So with that said, y'all, I know I done went all over it. This movie is good. Yelena Red Guardian. I can see them getting a special. I don't think they need their own movie because this is going to be their movie. But I'm gonna be weird here. I'm gonna say something weird. I don't even know if I need another Thunderbolt / New Avengers movie because I think they did what they needed to do. I know they told a joke about Sam Wilson suing them. I'm just gonna pretend that didn't happen because if that's the case, they really do not like Sam. Marvel,
Yeah.
like, ha ha ha, we got it over with. We did it. Sam is a joke.
Why would you do
Sam.
that? I'll cover that in a second.
I'm just gonna throw that away. As Sam is almost about to be canon, but not canon. But at the end of the day, I know it's a joke. They said it's kind of a joke, but it's like, yeah, we didn't believe in your movie. But because nobody, I had to say, I saw a comment, and people already want the Thunderbolts to kick Sam's butt. I know it don't take much to get certain people to want to kick a black man's butt.
Backs.
Yeah,
But good lord, it's like they didn't do that movie no favors. But I
Nah.
would say just combine them all into the Avengers. I don't necessarily need a new Avengers movie. New Avengers can exist within Avengers. Like if they even have to split up in teams, boom, bam, boom, easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
It
expect
looks like that's
Avengers
what they're
movie.
trying to do anyway.
Yeah, just combine them. They're gonna work it all out.
And
Even
and
yeah,
that the new Avengers, this Thunderbolts Asterix teams, that's where you put Deadpool.
Mhm.
And that's we good. I mean, honestly, outside of the obvious stuff that we talk about all the time, my anger at America about not liking Sam Wilson is based on the fact that we Americans really don't like heroes that try to avoid fighting.
yeah.
It's like,
It-
yo,
there was-
let's just talk this out. Like, let's seriously,
agree.
let's have a conversation.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
agree.
and
saw another
America's
comment
like,
about
no,
that.
I just want him to beat this guy. It's like
I
Captain
saw
America
s-
versus the Hulk should have been a conversation.
saw some of that too, where people are like, "Oh, great, another movie where they talk it out at the end." Blah blah blah. Like, y'all,
Yes,
it's either that or die.
Like, look, if
Like-
if that's the case, don't watch a good like 40% of anime, because look, your hero's gonna be either they gonna fight, but they're gonna be friends at the end of that. Because Naruto, oh, he definitely gonna be your friend. He might beat you down a little bit, but y'all gonna be friends.
Or I'll say this: in the new anime, they go.
I just wanted Rock Lee to have more time.
They go talk before they kill you.
Yeah,
Like you might die, but they're gonna go into you. They gonna have that therapy session and then tell you why I got to kill you.
it's like gotta go though. But anyway, where can they find you?
You can find me at blurred.ish on IG, Keith Cooper on Facebook if you're sane. I'm putting up with less people BS this year round, especially when it deals with race or whatever. You can talk to me if you're cool. That's great. If you want to hit me up.
That's why you
especially-
haven't returned my messages. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh well. I just had to drop somebody in the local con community. I don't have no ill will towards them, but this year I got no bandwidth for some things. So, but you can hit me up also. You can just message me. Shout out to some other cats. Shout out to I'm gonna just give them a shout out. Ferguson Lee. We haven't did a pod together, but we're talking about collaborating on a pod. They're a pod duo out of Texas. So shout out to you.
Tejas.
Mm-hmm.
So just hit me up if you're sane, especially about cons, business, or whatever. It's all good. And if you are a 47 supporter and you want to hit me up, I might still work with you. Just leave that foolishness away from me. That's all I ask. But that's where you can find me.
Word up. Final thoughts on my end. Marvel, you're looking good. You're looking good. Looking good. Honestly, I think you've been looking good for a couple of years now. So now, especially this year, you got 3 movies. You got 2 that I like. Let's bring it home. Let's bring it home. Let's go on and bring it home. That's all I'm saying.
2?
We had Cap. I like that.
Okay,
We got,
yeah.
Thunderbolts.
Sorry,
I like this.
it all runs together. I'm like, wait a
Yeah.
second, because I'm like, yeah, we had Cap, Thunderbolts, we got the FF. Anything else coming out this year?
Nope,
I don't
that's
think
it.
so. I
Other
think
than
Good. That's the
movies.
way it should be.
yeah.
That's the way it should be.
So
That's it.
Because
Yeah,
when you're
hard,
doing
hard.
3 a
All you
year,
gotta
you
do-
can pay attention.
all you got to do, just bring it home with this Fantastic Four.
I got high hopes.
I will say the only thing is I'm sort of tired of y'all like joking and undercutting your own products, because you kind of undercut Captain America,
Bruh.
and I
With
don't
spade.
like that. Same
cut
way
that
you
with a
undercut
spade.
Nick Fury in Secret Invasion. Now, Secret Invasion as a whole was
Yeah,
a disaster,
was-
but
abomination.
you undercut Nick Fury, and now you undercut Cap. Don't think I don't see y'all undercutting the brothers. All right.
Yeah.
Now, with that said, also the joke thing about Thunderbolts, I get it. Y'all wanted the asterisks. Sometimes y'all are trying to be funny. Y'all trying too hard to be funny. You're just trying too hard. You knew what we would think when you use the term Thunderbolts. Then you threw this in. I thought it was kind of corny, but I was already in the movie, and I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying you don't have to do that. Y'all don't. You don't have to outsmart us all the time. Just
I will
just
disagree
make
on
the
that.
movie. I'm
I,
just. These are my final thoughts,
okay,
though.
so
I'm
I
just
feel you.
saying these are my final thoughts.
I feel you.
When I heard the Thunderbolts thing, I kind of rolled my eyes. I
The
was just like,
public
I'm
needed it
tired of
though.
Kevin Feige trying to outsmart us. And Jason Reeves does a great job of like, stop trying to like outsmart. Just make the movie.
Yeah,
But
Make
Mike,
stop
me
trying to
feel.
subvert our
let me
expectations.
ask a
Yeah.
quick question, Mike.
Hmm.
If they call that thing New Avengers from the beginning, how you think people? Do you think it worked for or
It's
against? I
got the
think it worked
Marvel logo
against.
on it. They're still coming.
I
They're
think
still
it
In
works.
coming.
truth,
This
I
could have
think
been
it
called
works
Patty
against.
Cake
You
if
think
people would have
so?
showed up.
in truth, I think they should have just left them the New Avengers or left them the Thunderbolts.
Yeah. Or yeah,
Okay,
either don't do the Thunderbolts asterisk thing and just make them Thunderbolts, for Thunderbolt Ross or whatever other reason. But I didn't really. I did. It's just a small thing I didn't like. Similar like the eyeshadow. I was just like,
Oh,
a year and a half later, she's still doing the eyeshadow. Girl, come on, let it go. But anyway,
now,
man.
that's a small thing. Also undercutting Sam Wilson. I'm tired of that. I'm tired of them
yeah,
undercutting the brothers. Also, with seeing Sinners. Once again, I got to give props to Sinners. With seeing a post-credit scene done so well, I'm tired of these post-credit scenes that are just hanging around to try to get a giggle out of us. Don't get me wrong, I'm not against the Wheaties box,
I
but
loved it,
there's
man. I
tons of
loved it, bro.
story that we could tell in this. And when I've seen it, a post-credit scene done extremely well, then to be brought back to like, oh, Wheaties box. I'm like, bruh, I'm sitting here. I could have
I,
been gone for the Wheaties
I'm
box. Y'all could have
sorry,
put
bro.
it there.
Maybe I'm a sucker.
That
Red
could have been.
Guardian deserved it. I loved
No,
it. I
I'm
loved
down
it.
with Red Guardian, but he had 2 hours already. Y'all could have
I
put that
loved it,
Wheaties on
man.
there on YouTube. Let's be for real.
uh,
It could have been on
quite.
YouTube.
Yeah,
I
true,
know
true.
these are
But
your final thoughts, but I
Yeah.
gotta
I
disagree
love,
with you
I
on
loved
that
it.
final
All
thought.
I
right.
loved it. I
Here we
loved
go.
Only
it.
All right.
I
Go ahead.
gotta disagree on you with this.
Go ahead.
If every time something is done amazingly,
Hmm.
that's the new bar. I never liked that. I never did. I never did.
All right. Cool.
Let the best be the best. Don't make the best the new bare minimum.
I was criticizing joke and throwaway credit scenes before Sinners. Sinners
Mhm.
just made it worse because it's recent. It just already happened. Like, stop making me wait for something that could be on YouTube. Now, if that was on YouTube, I'd be like, oh, this is dope. I'd be sharing it around. But, bro, you made me wait. I'm like, especially when we know there's a lot of information going on in
So,
behind the scenes that we could know as
would
far
you
as,
like to put up like a scan, like a little QR code, like, hey, go do this on YouTube for the
I
final
would,
scene?
no, just drop it on YouTube. We're going to see it. People are subscribed to Marvel. People are subscribed to Disney. We would have saw it. But I would have liked to see something going on, maybe at the raft, something going on about the extra dimensional stuff, something going around. Hey, maybe with Doctor Strange or something. Give us some more information about Marvel in general instead of these joke ones. But this is a criticism. Go back on this channel. I've had this criticism since they've started doing the 2 post-credit scenes, and one's been kind of like a waste of our time that could have been on YouTube, and then the other one is kind of real.
In
So
truth,
that's how I
I
felt
did need
about
to
this
see
for a
Star
while.
Lord eating Cheerios. Okay, I will give
Well,
you
that
that.
was the worst. That
Thank you.
and Shang-Chi was the worst one. Shang-Chi, that went to, welcome to the big leagues. Nah. Bob Iger said, yeah, hold up.
Bob Iger was like,
We'll see.
For me, I give them
Just-
2 more years on that. I give them 2 more years on that.
but
Nah,
Because
that-
that's
for the
welcome
main
to the
product,
big
though.
leagues, and then we see Clara and Doctor Strange going off into the other dimension, and
at least that fit to something. That
And
is actually
because there's so many threads that you could pull on for short scenes, like America, like Miss Marvel, like Captain Marvel, any of these other things that are going on concurrently with the world, because you got Sword and the space station and extra there's tons of stuff that you could bring people in to shoot for a day, and then you could have that in there like, oh snap, this is also what's happening. And it's similar to like having a whole streaming service where I don't think you are capitalizing on it. I just don't think they're
But
capitalizing.
can I at least say
Okay.
this?
So
I did feel that that feeling got me when I saw the Fantastic Four. It got me, bro. Like,
Yes. Now,
I'm sorry,
but
it just made me feel
that's the
good.
post credit scene that mattered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they also undercut Sam in that one. But that's the post credit scene that mattered. You could have tucked the Wheaties gag in the back of the real credit scene that mattered, in the background with him just walking up with a box in his hands, and we seeing that he bought like 30 of his own boxes. Like we could have, you could have thrown that in the back of that, and we could have
You
had
know what?
a bigger scene that actually mattered.
You know what
Okay.
they could do? Like the old comedies where the credits are rolling, and if you want to stay for the rifting, just let it roll, and then just let it
Could
put
do
the
that.
credits over
Could
it.
do that.
And while it's like Will Ferrell movies where the credits are rolling, and he's like, whenever he was like Frank the Tank, and he was like speaking of cereal, grabbing the cereal, like Frank the Tank is back, baby. Whoa! It was kind of like it was like that. It was like that's why I liked it.
Oh man,
So you know,
yeah, you could do those too. But besides that, all in all, I think we're going up. All we got to do is bring it home on Fantastic Four. I'm not the biggest Fantastic Four fan, but bring it home. I'll be happy. You know what I'm saying? That's
hey,
it.
bro,
All
this
right.
is as a Marvel Rivals player, this is time.
Oh yeah, you
Fantastic
know
Four's
what?
in the game.
It's daytime. It's daytime
I'm a
to shine.
Lord Reed. I'm a Lord Reed player. I know that don't mean much to people, but he's my anti Spider-Man because you got to have it. If you play
Ah,
Rivals, please learn how to. You got to learn how to kill Spider-Man. If you don't, you gonna have a
Spider-Man's a
hell.
tough one to take down,
You
y'all.
gonna have a hellified time.
But I see you
Spider.
out there. You be rapping with Penny too. You know what I'm saying? So
He, he
shouts out to
can't
Penny.
necessarily. She kills Magic and Black Panther. Poor Black Panther. If you terrible and I'm good with if I'm up with Penny, she drops bombs on the floor that will auto track you on the web. Don't touch the web, and it's kind of
Yeah.
hard to not touch the web if you're gonna kill me. So I'm sorry.
Oh man. So with that said, NERD, SOUL, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all those places, guys. Continue to support, share, like, subscribe, all that mess. And we'll see y'all later with Andor. I gotta catch up with that. We got anime coming this week. We got a lot of stuff. I'm working to get stuff out, so there will be more things coming soon. Until then, keep your head up. You know what I'm saying? Be good to people. Give your mama a hug and a high five to your daddy. And until next time, we still black. Peace.
Peace.
We out.